So it's just us
Why did I
tonight.
just-
I'm not expecting Adam or John.
Adam and John aren't going to be here tonight. Adam, I don't know why Adam's not here. He should be. Nah, Dusk, I don't
He
care.
doesn't value us enough, obviously.
I don't mind.
Clearly.
And John's just clearing his schedule to make sure he can be with us on the first episode of Curse of Strahd. Shannon's just popping in and out. His OBS or something's not working.
Well, yeah, don't press that button. Can you hear me?
I can hear. We can hear you.
What's that little button in the corner? It's got like a couple of arrows in the corner of where your head is on your
What?
like.
That's like a
Your
enlarge,
name.
minimize.
No, mine's got like arrows in a circle.
Okay,
Oh,
I've
it's
I've
the break
invited you.
everything button.
I've switched over to.
Yeah, don't touch it.
I've switched over to the old version of Whereby just because I just wanted to make sure at least that was normal for Joe. Anyway, we're live, and this is going well already. This is really just we're not playing anything tonight. We're just having a bit of a chat about. Well, first of all, this whole session was just to make sure that Joe's system was all up and running now, and that we're not cutting out for her. And
I
Dave's,
can hear that crackling
Dave's
noise.
eating chocolate.
Clear as day. It's
Yes.
wonderful.
One of my faves. Top deck. One of my faves.
Top tier, yeah, that's pretty good. So,
It's a
Joe,
combination of two best ones. Sorry.
Top deck, isn't it? When you do a shit in the cistern, and then when you flush it, the shit comes out.
Damn, and they just named it chocolate after it. That's
Wow,
crazy.
that's so cool. The name is chocolate.
I thought a top deck was when you put like Glad wrap across the toilet bowl, and when they go to take a shit, it just smears
yeah,
everywhere.
What the?
Yeah, that's something else.
That's
like
something you need to, I need
reflector
to
beam or
Google.
something.
But yeah.
So, Joe, it's your job tonight
field.
to let us know if we drop out at all.
Okay.
Okay.
do.
Random Origins has asked what it was that we've changed with Machine. We got a new router. Because we got changed to the same plan but cheaper, and for some reason, our internet provider made some change that our old router could not handle. So they sent us a new one. So that's a router. I'm not going to call it a router. It routes things around the house. So it
The
doesn't.
root is something else.
Although, to be honest, it did root a few things around the house as well, so you might not be wrong. But we've
Everything was
updated.
rooted.
Yeah, we've updated that. And first of all, I can see the chat, which is great. It's not dropping out now. And so far, we haven't dropped out for Joe. So may that continue. Joe, do you want to also, the other thing we thought, because you don't have the Snapcam stuff running right now, do you?
No, I do.
You what?
I wanted to test it with the full thing.
Can you not
Right.
tell?
I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. This is my new character.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's good. I like that character. What's the voice for that character? What's this character's voice? First of all, I want a name and a voice. And it's-
I can't look at it. It's so disgusting.
I want a class. No, sorry, a race, a name, and a
Oh,
voice for this
no
character.
pressure.
No pressure at all.
No pressure.
What
It
kind of-
looks quite gnomish, to be fair.
It does look quite gnomish.
I'm gonna say like.
Orcish.
Yeah, true. Actually, if you had the teeth, if you adjusted that
you could do
Snapcam
orc.
to have some teeth, that would look really, really orcish. It'd be awesome.
My name is Grimpus.
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 Okay. All right. Is that
That's it.
okay? That's good.
Oh,
Mungus. I like
Orcish.
Mungus was a character from the Divinity 2 sort of playtest that Reese and I went through last week. And Mungus, fantastic name. There was some actually. I don't know if you guys saw, but there were some fantastic names. His version of like ruffians were called Dirty Scuzzos. I enjoyed taking on the Dirty Scuzzos, and the characters that we met in a tavern was Hootie and Zooty, I think.
blowfish.
And Zooty. Hootie and Zooty.
Okay.
So I think this was him on the spot making up names. I really hope it was.
I don't know. Names are pretty hard to come up with on the spot, honestly.
Yeah, it's true.
Grimpus was a real win for me.
Grimpus is pretty good. I like Grimpus.
Sounds festive.
Yeah, it's a bit like
It's
Krampus.
Kind of Krampus, yeah.
Well, the Grinch. Krampus and the Grinch stuck together.
Yes.
There we go.
We are a Yuletide-based homebrew race.
Oh, the laugh is even worse.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
It is pretty scary.
So on the Discord and on Twitter and everything, we announced that we're going to go live with Curse of Strahd on the 2nd of March. That is when John is available. That's when we're going to go full steam ahead with the new season. He is going to miss Session 0, though. So it was either next week, like skip a week and then have Session 0 and then go into it the week after that, or have Session 0 next week and then skip a week, giving John time to watch over and familiarize himself with what we talked about and then get into the thing. So that's what we're going to go for. I think next week we'll jump into Session 0. I think that should be awesome. Yeah. Curse of Strahd looks really cool. It's really put into perspective for me how much of a starters pack Lost Mine of Phandelver was. Like it was always meant as a starter for DMs and players. And man, the Book of Curse of Strahd has really put that into perspective. It's so amazingly detailed.
That's cool.
What do you guys know of Curse of Strahd, if anything?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, well that's good.
He's a nice
There's
guy.
something vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He looks very cool.
He is a pretty cool boy.
Yeah.
I've just
He likes playing cards.
He's throwing his cards on the cover of the book. He's like throwing his
He's
cards
messy.
everywhere.
Yeah. Messy.
He's messy.
Yeah, he's a bit of a messer.
He's got a
Maybe
raven.
he's not that cool. I hate when people throw cards everywhere.
Oh, he doesn't even look like he cares. He's just like the maid will pick.
Maybe he's
Uh,
like the Cuba Street magician.
There's a Cuba Street magician.
Yeah, I don't know that guy. What are you
Wow.
Oh, he
talking
was
about?
the Cuba Street magician. Do you remember him? He had like a
No.
little hologram top hat,
A what?
and he would come over and he'd be really aggressive and try and
You can't be an aggressive
get
magician,
into conversations.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, I
and
don't like him.
there was a Facebook page called "Fuck Off Cuba Street Magician," and I was
Classic.
definitely a member.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And at one point he went to Auckland, and everyone was relieved, and then he came back and said, oh, "Fuck."
Oh, there should be one for that creepy couple that like paint themselves white. Have you seen
Oh,
them? I
those-
hate them
yeah.
so much.
Paint.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
right. They're on.
Like they're like in old like Victorian style clothing, and they're just all painted white, and they just
Yeah.
stand there next to each other, being creepy.
They do nothing, and they have
right.
these little signs about weird shit.
Yeah,
Weird shit.
Yeah, they're strange. Yeah, it's
What?
like
kinda
weird
new one.
sayings that are trying to make you
they're
give
trying to
them
make you
money.
laugh, or they're trying to make you smile, and
Ah.
like just if
Ah.
we made you smile, put a coin
Not
in that
working?
bucket kind of
Oh, I don't like that.
They're
No,
horrible. They're like
they're
trying to do a living statue thing, but they're just
I
horrible.
didn't know they were trying to make people laugh.
Are they
though.
good at it?
No.
No. That's part
Yeah,
of the
don't
problem.
make people laugh.
Yeah,
Terrible.
that's. I mean, like people do that for a living. It's not easy. I suppose they're
I
trying to
don't
do
know.
it for a
I
living.
feel like maybe they're retired and it's their hobby to just
Mm.
be horrible on the
okay.
street.
I mean, that's.
I've got a,
gross
um,
hobby.
Yeah, that is true. I've got a set of cards unopened. You know how you get collector's cards like baseball cards and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they come with a pack of gum in them. But it's Cuba Street Buskers.
Oh, cool.
Gross. That's horrible.
I've never opened it. The drawings.
Yeah,
of
but
them.
can we do that live on air sometime?
need
I
to
think
open
that'd be
it.
It's a
amazing.
collector's
No, you'll
edition.
destroy
I
the
wanna open it.
collector value of it.
There was
Um,
that girl with the sock puppet.
I was actually
Yeah.
about to ask
Pretty
you if
cool.
it had her on it.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was
don't
about
think
to
I
ask
saw
you.
her.
I was just trying to find
Does
a
it have-
polite way to ask.
Does it have that old guy that does really crap juggling?
Oh, the old dude.
Oh,
They
the
had a
real-
photo of
yeah,
him
who
with a
just-
heart on.
Is that the guy that always stand outside with Beck
And a
on
flat wall.
That's the guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Um,
Yeah, he's not very good at juggling.
I've got a question.
He's not trying, honestly.
I've got a
No.
question from the chat, by the way, guys. Random Origin wants to know. This is good. This is a good question. What did you guys learn from season 1 that you want to bring through to Curse of Strahd? This is sort of touching a little bit on the Session 0 stuff because we're going to be going over a lot of exactly that, I think, next week.
Yeah, I'm warning you guys. I'm dead serious. I've made a Google Doc
Yeah. There's a
good.
document.
Sorry, what?
There are subheadings.
Oh god.
There's a lot of information on it. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. This is what we're kind of going into this in the Discord as well. Someone was like, "Don't worry about a session zero. Just jump into the new campaign." But it's like, if you listen to our very first session zero for Lost Mine of Phandelver, we literally start by saying we've got no idea what we're doing. That's like the first line of that session, and so we didn't know what we were really talking about, what kind of rules to set. We just thought it was more about setting the scene, what kind of characters they had, and
Yeah, it was mostly like, "Hello, my name is."
Yeah, this is who I am.
yeah,
This is what
introducing
I'm
the
gonna do,
characters.
and here's my character.
Yeah,
I'm
whereas
a
I think
wandering minstrel.
yeah. Where I think this session zero is going to be really focused on exactly what you've asked, which is what did we do wrong? Where did we go wrong? What could we do better?
Where did we go wrong?
Shannon, where did we go wrong?
Where did it all go wrong?
Yeah.
I think it would be easier if we just stuck to what we did right.
Yeah, that's a good
sure.
point.
That is a
actually.
nice positive
let me
way
just
of
add that
putting
to
it.
my Google Doc right now. Where did we go right?
Because if you spend
Much
the whole
shorter.
session going, let's change this because we did this wrong, it'd be like really depressing, and I don't feel would go very far.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things I'm wanting to really avoid with session zero is talking about things that make people like feel shit. I don't want to make anyone sort of feel shit about stuff. I want to talk about what went right, how we can ensure that we continue doing those right things, and stuff like that. I think there will be a few things that pop up that just sort of go over ground we have already covered. And I just want to make sure that no one feels bad at the end of that. I think there are points that will come up that will touch on a lot of different players' actions along the way. And it's just making sure that the whole idea is that we basically create that little contract between us all that says we just want to have fun. Because like Curse of Strahd is a long fucking campaign.
Is it? Is it as long as
Oh, you're
uh,
gonna make him. He's
Lost
gonna drop
Mines?
out. Whoops!
Oh,
I
who
put
dropped
the
out?
filter on by mistake. We've already started.
Did someone
guys.
drop out?
A surprise!
Did you stop hearing us?
No, I put this filter on by
Oh, okay.
mistake, and I'm like, wow, American's back.
Yeah. So it's just so it is a very long campaign. So I want to make sure that we enjoy the whole thing, and that if we need to take breaks along the way, we can take breaks along the way, and a whole bunch of other bits and pieces. But like I said, we'll touch on that more next week. But yes, please, it's not about making anyone feel bad. We've all decided that we're all going ahead with this. So that's awesome. It's a big positive already because it's a huge investment of time. Huge investment. Random Origin says that we did nothing wrong. It was all great. It was just on a spectrum of
It's
right.
too nice.
Yeah, no, that's too nice, dude. That's really
That's
nice.
super nice. I think it's kind of interesting though. I think it's cool that people watch our stuff and like it goes on YouTube because I feel like there's it's cool to put out an example of what a session zero could look like because I feel like a lot of people kind of keen to gloss over that when they play and they might regret it later. So
Yeah.
it might be good to like have like an idea of what might be a good structure to go with.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult with this kind of game where you have so much freedom. It's not like a game like you turn up to play football and you know you're going to be kicking a ball back and forth.
Yeah.
That's all I know about football.
That's all you need
Something
to
with
know.
a net.
Okay,
But you know like what you're getting into, whereas a game like this you could be getting into like depending on who you're playing with like a completely different set of things that you thought you didn't know that you were going to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the challenges that like you see, like you get stuck with different things, and we all deal with it differently, and you haven't covered off the rules of engagement in that particular thing. It's like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're never going to cover off everything, but I think in session zero you can cover off 90% of the situations that we know we'll cover.
Yeah.
And we go, okay, when we meet this, we're going to do this, or at least we're going to try and behave in such a way that isn't going to upset various people. You kind of create that bond between the group before it actually exists.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Which I think we didn't have last time.
I agree.
And that's for a lot of our issues that arose is that we were essentially a bunch of characters that got thrown together to do something.
Yeah.
And we hadn't kind of solidly worked out our interactions and how we were going to be.
Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, there was no real reason for people to stick together if they got pissed off. They were kind of like, why would I be with you? Now I have to figure out a way or a reason to do that because it's a game and I know it's a game.
So the reason for staying was because I want to see the end of the campaign or want to see the end of the game, not because we're doing this as a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make that up though, you know. You got to go with the flow and say, okay, my character really likes yada yada. I don't know.
But I think that's where Session Zero allows you to discuss. If we meet this situation, here's what we do, and it just gives you that background.
One thing that I was sort of like been thinking about a lot lately, because Adam's joining us, we've been sort of looking into the character he's going to be bringing into the sessions, and it got me thinking about backstory and how much is too much. This is not really Session Zero stuff. This is just kind of a conversation, I guess. I really like the amount of detail that that the Baron's got. I think I like that there's not a lot of real heavy set in stone stuff that to the point where you're inflexible, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because if you come to it and you have a big, like a backstory, like, oh, I've done this and this and I'm a really experienced, yada, yada. I don't think that works if you're level 1.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you're starting at level 5 or level 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just said, okay, I'm from this sort of family and these are my ideals and stuff. That's what they tell you, you know, your bonds, your ideals. And that's probably enough.
Yeah, that was because, like, with Sig, he was like a war scholar for a village, and he's out to learn the ways of all these other armies from around the world, and he's just a level 1 fighter. It's just like, it doesn't really make huge sense.
His backstory didn't quite fit with the and I found that with, like, when I was trying to create Loris, because obviously he was an older barbarian who'd been around, and yet he was level 1. It's like, it doesn't quite fit. And I was thinking
that's true.
Starting your character at level 1, you're sort of thinking, okay, maybe you're 18, 19, or you're young and you're growing and developing, or you've just ventured into the trade.
Yeah, I mean, like,
sort of that.
No, I'm not suggesting this as a thing, but Loris could have been like a carpenter who's now decided he's built up his strength as, you know, woodwork and all this kind of stuff or whatever.
You know.
Well, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, you know, I think this is like almost the game and the handbook and everything kind of makes you think this way from the get-go about, like, oh, my character's super cool. Because, like, they'll be like, ooh, here's a bard. And it's like someone being super cool as if they're, like, rule the school. So you're like, oh, that's what a bard is. If I'm a bard, even if I'm level 1, obviously I'm already that cool. Because they don't show, like, the low-level characters that are kind of not that good.
True.
So, like, it gives you, like...
I guess the other
some
way
of stories are, like, soldiers.
No, you go, sorry.
So, like, I mean, it's okay being, like, a soldier. That's a background. And
sure.
But you then... You just got to assume that you're a bit of a bog-standard soldier. And a level 1 adventurer... Like, adventurers in D&D, they are a step above the normal. They're like beginning heroes.
Yeah, they're not commoners.
So you've just stepped into that sort of hero like thing. But beforehand, maybe if you're a war scholar, what does that mean from your village? Maybe it doesn't mean you like killed thousands of people.
True.
You know, if you're starting at level 1, that'd be the wrong way to go. But if you old, you can be old and start to become an adventurer. Don't be like a kick-ass hero.
Yeah, that's the other way to kind of think of it, is that level 1 isn't a commoner. Level 0 is commoner. And so if you're a level 1 bard, that means you are probably already more proficient with your skills than anyone else that's not sort of from your town.
You've got magic powers at that point as a bard.
Because theoretically, you've
finished bard school.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Bard school.
That's the same with like the mages and stuff, right? Yeah, you go through a mage school and you sort of pick your class. Path.
Oh, actually, although when does that kick in? Because like you pick your school at 2nd level, maybe.
Second level.
For your college.
So
maybe that's when you
level 1, you're sort of going
graduate
through as a newbie, and then you graduate.
You're not even there for graduation. You're like
you've gone adventuring.
That's when I was.
You did correspondence school from the cave.
That's what I did when I was a bard. I was doing correspondence school. My mum happy.
Of course.
And at night times I would do my lessons.
That's so good.
Brilliant.
Random Origins is just asking how spoilery Session Zero is going to be. It's going to be far less spoilery than our first Session Zero. Like the Session Zero last time, you really learned a lot about the characters and where they were heading and what they were all kind of looking for. But I don't think we're going to delve into that at all. I don't think we're going to touch on that. We're going to start Session 1 of the full campaign in Phandalin, and it's going to be 3 years after Beware the Sleigh Bells. So that's kind of that's
3 years.
3 years after.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And that is purely to serve as a means to have our adventurers kind of a little more ingrained in this village, giving them a place of importance, I guess.
Oh wait, what village?
Phandalin.
So we've stayed in Phandalin for 3 years?
You've all stayed. Well, actually, you guys can let me know over Discord about what people are happening. But it is 3 years later, and you are all in Phandalin at the start of this next campaign.
Laura,
We couldn't leave Duran, our new bestie.
Yeah.
Loris would have stayed there because he practically had nowhere to be anyway. So it was like, and he had a job to do while he was there. So
Yeah, I think
He could be like those guys, the white guys, like fetchers. On,
I'm just standing in the street with my axe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Loris found a bit of purpose there towards the end, having helped clear out the caves and with the new sort of system of guards being implemented in the city and stuff. I think there's
Implement a new security system.
Yeah, what is happening in Roll20?
That's a good question.
Abjuration 5 from Shannon. All right.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to update my thing.
Oh, that's all good.
I'm
That's all good.
trying to figure out where my character is in Roll20, honestly.
Have I assigned it to you? Because last time I checked, you hadn't. Oh man, this is just like Shannon's going buck wild with these
is it
rolls.
rolling? Oh, why is it rolling? I haven't even clicked anything. There's nothing to click.
I will give you your character sheet for American. How do I do that? Oh, that's right. I go edit.
You don't need to do it right now.
It's in the
Do it right now.
spirit of things, so you can see it.
Do you reckon? I just had a thought. What if Strada's playing Pickup 52 on the cover?
Yeah.
It's actually a scene from when you enter his room, and he's all like,
much of an asshole.
"Pick up 52, bitches." All right, you should have
really.
He truly is evil.
Yeah.
you should have your characters now, Joe.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing around as I do when I get time to play with leveling up and stuff. And John mentioned that level 7 barbarian, you get that aspect of the beast. I was like, I wonder what levels I can go to max out barbarian, max out, and to get to level 20 and do the right split. So I have my perfect split now.
You think it's a perfect split?
Yeah, I know exactly where I want to be. It's gonna, it'll be brilliant if we ever get to level 20.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Level 20 is a very
It's a
long way.
Because I was looking at
level
how the fighters level up, and I think by the time the fighter gets to about level 6, you get the extra attack. You get so you get a couple of point bonuses and stuff, and then it's like the rest of it all. I wanted barbarian, so I was thinking 14-6, and the question is if we ever get to that far, if you let that happen to unevenly.
I'm happy to do that.
So, because I've played with DMs before who've said once you multi-class, you have to level up evenly. So you
I don't care. I want you to be happy with whatever character you guys are putting together.
Is that like the normal way to play? Is just let whatever levels?
In my head, it shouldn't matter.
I don't see why they'd have to go up
so.
evenly.
I think in my mind, as long as barbarian is always higher than whatever you're multi-classing, that's probably my rule. After all, Loris is a barbarian unless unless there was some serious discussion or in regards to why he would suddenly be take over with a different class. Yeah. But
It was interesting when I was doing the classes. D&D basically sort of said, or D&D Beyond said, the two classes that I could modder class into are fighter or rogue. I'm like,
oh yeah,
can I imagine being a 7'3" thief? Gimme.
yeah. I don't know how stealthy he would be, to be honest.
My stealth's actually really good. I have +5 on my stealth.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Because you don't.
What?
But you don't. But you have heavy armor, or you don't have heavy armor? No.
No, I only have chainmail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough then. I suppose it's only when you start wearing heavy armor that you you lose or you get
lose stealth. And as a barbarian, wearing heavy armor makes no sense because you lose a lot of your bonuses and stuff.
Oh right. Okay. Cool. Are either of you, Joe or Shannon, interested in multi-classing at all, or are you happy just to follow the path that you're on?
Joe's face.
I'm happy to follow the path I'm on. I really don't need this to be even more complicated, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's talk levels then. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
I sort of looked at my sheet after I leveled it up to level 10, and then it just says the spells you have to choose from 101, and I was just like, no. And I closed the tab, and I was like, I'll look at this later. I can't even deal with this.
Yeah. That's
Imagine having that, and then be like, oh, and I also have rogue abilities. So, no, God, my brain would explode.
Cool.
Well, you're already a complicated elf, not like the normal elf.
Yeah.
You've got those
not like
things.
other elves.
Yeah. Well, you got what are they? The seasons? That's not normal.
Yeah. I'm an Eladrin.
Yeah.
I'm not like other basic elves.
You did
I have 4 seasons within me.
You picked the fanciest elf you could find, and then you went druid.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why? Should have gone fighter.
Should have gone fighter or barbarian. I mean, fighter's actually quite complicated in its own right. They've got so many little extra maneuvers and stuff.
Yeah, it was quite impressive with the way Reese played Sig in regards to. Well, I'm not going to talk about the feat because the feat pissed me off, but but with all the other things, with like the parries and the if someone misses you and all this kind of stuff, what you can do to inflict damage again. Like it'd be easy to forget that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really easy to forget that sort of thing. But let's talk levels anyway. This campaign goes from level 1 to level 10, and you guys are starting at level 5. So I need to find ways.
Oh, right.
So I need
at 1.
Yeah, this is there's a level. There's like a part of the story where it's like an extra that you can do to get people up to level 3 quite quickly. And then from level 3 to level 10 is the rest of the campaign. So you can start at 1 or you can start from 3. Yeah. So I guess my question is, how much, do we want to go up? Imagine if it was to level 12 instead of level 10. It just means that I do need to scale. It means you guys would level up at the normal points within the story, but you would go to level 12 instead of level 10, and I would have to really... I'd have to scale everything.
Don't even.
Anyway.
I think that's
leveling up excites me, so yeah.
I'm just like, you already have made so much work for yourself with all the prep you're putting in. You're a glutton for punishment. You're like, do you want me to do even more work?
But I think Shannon's right. I think I will be scaling stuff a lot anyway.
Just do it in your head. You're like, fuck these guys.
Here's got 7 more things.
More hit points.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm quite happy for us to go from 5 to 12 instead of 3 to 10. It means that I don't have to try and figure out when is the right time to start leveling you guys up. I can just look at the book at the certain time it goes, this is when the book thinks it's a good time to level up, and you guys level up. I think that's probably going to be the safest way. Otherwise, I have to really be like, oh, well, you're starting at level 5, but you should be 3. It says you should level up to 4 here, but I will just ignore it. And suddenly you've been level 5 for 6 months.
Yeah.
I still won't have used all my spells.
Yeah. I think sitting on a level for a long period of time will eke away at my boredom levels.
Right.
I quite enjoy the leveling up and looking at what I've got. I mean, I've leveled up Loris like so many times in so many different ways, just to see what would happen. Right. So it's a fascination for me. So leveling up is quite fun. That's part of what I like doing.
Okay. I mean, that's good. You don't think pre-planning those levels is going to lose some of that excitement?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
Because like even doing that 6-4, and then John mentioned, wait a minute, what about level 7 barbarian? I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Oh damn! But now you're saying go to level 12, so I can go level 7 and 5. That works. That works.
Dude, I love this excitement. This is what I want to hear. This is fantastic.
Because level 5. Sorry, Karen.
Carry on.
Because
You
level
carry
5
on.
fighter, you get your second attack.
Yeah.
With barbarian, I've already got my 2 attacks. With level 3 fighter, I get action surge. I think it's level 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm 7 and 5, I technically speaking, would have 4 attacks, if you allow that.
Yeah.
So,
by the time you're level 12, man, you're damn near like legendary by most commoners' like thoughts, right?
so I'm thinking like rage, 4 attacks. I could do about 100 damage with my axe.
And that's great because by level 12, you'll be coming up against enemies with a lot more than 100 hit points. So, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So, someone, Asnog has said, scale the adventure. Just keep in mind that the magic users will have access to another level of spells at those leveling points. And, yeah, so it's just making sure that if I have... if you guys are leveling up and you guys have magic spells, that I am also just throwing in magic users that can, combat that as well.
I'd only get a new spell at 11th.
Did you
A new tier of
the way
spells.
that you've described like your leveling up, Shannon, makes it sound like wizards are useless. Not useless, but like they don't get much. They don't get much from leveling.
No, it's all in the spells because I do have some resistance to, necrotic stuff or something.
Yeah, right.
Shows up, but
Okay.
I don't get like 2 attacks or anything like that. It just opens up other spell levels.
And obviously higher level spells you've already got, or just higher level versions of spells you've already got.
Yeah, so at 5th you get access to third level spells.
Mm-hmm.
At 7th you get access to 4th level spells.
Nice.
They're quite high up. And then at 9th you get access to 5th. So every 2 levels you get access to another level of spell.
Right.
Do you get any other bonuses like extra, like casting spells and bonus actions and bits and pieces, or sorcery points like sorcerers get?
Nah.
I
But,
think it's just extra spells.
No. But with my at 6th level with my necromancy, then I can summon twice as many zombies, so 2 instead of 1.
So it
Now we're
increases the
talking.
power of your spells as you level up.
Now
So
we're
that's-
talking.
We're just
From the
gonna all,
school,
like-
so you could get bigger skill.
Barry squared. This is going to be fantastic.
Oh,
And they have
scary.
more hit points.
Yeah, true. That's
They have
right.
more hit points and they have more damage and attack, I think.
Okay, so this is actually a good point now that we're talking about like creatures that you have along with you that you're controlling or that you've created. I want to take that responsibility of remembering all of your creatures that you have along with you. I want to remove that responsibility from my mind. I think it's only fair to make sure that you guys are thinking of in Murikan's case, if she has a spider or any other animal along with her, your undead creatures, things like that. If you guys forget about them, then I'm probably going to forget about them this time.
Yeah.
Joe.
2 things. I was just going to say, how Dave is gleeful about leveling up? I think, the diverse way we approach the games is probably what keeps the crew quite interesting, because I'd say I'm probably like the opposite. I'm like, I hate leveling up.
Is that a fear of I don't
It's
want to play
really
with all
boring
the spells?
and lots of dumb decisions that I don't care about. Just tell me what I do. So I think like we're kind of polar opposites in that regard, which is kind of fun. Almost to the point where I'm like, can I outsource my leveling up to you, Dave?
I'd love to.
You just come back to me and be like, here's your build. I'll be like, thank you.
I'd have so much fun doing that. I love because I really like digging into the intricacies of what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you go
can see
this
the
far,
appeal.
what can you get? I love it. But honestly, the amount of time I spend on D&D Beyond just pissing around with characters.
That's
and
cool,
living
though.
them up. I love it. It's so much fun.
I don't get the same enjoyment either, to be honest. And I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was because the last time I was a player, I had just a cheap tactic each and every time. I had my griffin. I could just jump on it. I could take to the skies, shoot arrows, and I would just wipe everything out. And the more every time I leveled, I just unlocked things I just didn't utilize because I didn't need to be creative anymore because this one thing just worked every time.
You got your crutch and that was it.
Yeah, to the point where I literally bartered with that magic shop. I literally gave away one of my level up abilities that I got for knowledge of something. That was something that yeah, I just got rid of. Like I think it was like the level 9th, the 9th level upgrade that I got as a rogue. I just went, I don't need it. Don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think without that griffin, you would have had to rely on your rogue skills so much more.
Exactly,
and that makes a massive challenge.
Yeah, yeah. So I haven't played as a player very often, but that wasn't ideal. It got to a point where I was just kind of bored of my character, and leveling up wasn't exciting
anymore.
That's
kind of what happens though when you do level up and you get a new ability, that is your optimal thing to do.
Yeah.
And that is basically the same as having a griffin or whatever. If you've got it, you'll just use it, and that's the part that I don't find appealing, because I find doing something that's not in the rule book, if you can think of something that's much more satisfying, like if you figure a way to, make the cave in, or some way to trick an enemy, that is a lot more satisfying than doing that damage output. You are allocated on that level.
I agree. I like the ways you did that creatively quite a few times. Like when you instead of just being like, I do a cool last wizard spell, you just like threw pocket sand in that thing's eye and drugged him.
Yeah, that was cool.
I have done a couple of times, but in general, I'm still like using as much damage that I'm allocated. But that's never as satisfying as like, oh, hey, that's a different idea.
Yeah. If
that's the part that D&D diverges from a video game.
Yeah, if you can do something that isn't just a button click, if you can do something that's not just roll a dice and do damage. This is for me. Obviously, there are different builds for everybody, which is the best thing. You've got like the ability to just run in and deal damage satisfyingly for Dave that has picked the right path to make those numbers really nice and high, versus being able to be like, the game didn't expect me to do this and I did it, and now there's a result that is awesome because I tried something.
Yeah, the whole promise of D&D where you have limitless options. But I'm somewhere in the middle. I do like to, unlock things and use them, but they can be a trap, I think, because I'm like, well, I would use, chill touch or something. That's my only thing that I can do.
Joe?
Yeah. But that's why I like spells, because you can, when you do unlock them, you can use them in different ways. Sometimes.
Yeah. I think Joe's used spells in some really creative ways, especially. I'm just trying to think. The thorn whip has been fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And even just the ways and the uses of the vine growth and stuff like that. Thorn
and sticking to the bridge.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's really like important for the DM to respond like with an open mindset to, like, if someone tries to do something suboptimal but interesting, to make sure that you at least try to reward them in some way. Otherwise, you're just kind of programming your players to go like, okay, I guess I'll do that max damage thing that I've already done 10 times.
Yeah, I think Reagan did that during the last campaign, because every time we did something kind of creative or fun, we'd get inspiration for it, or if it was suboptimal, you do something kind of quirky. Yeah, I love how you did that. So have inspiration for your next turn, and that makes you want to do something a bit more quirky. Next time. Like for me as a barbarian, literally all I've got is rush in and beat people up. So I have to get creative about how I do that.
I honestly think you've been quite creative about it. You could just be like, I swing my axe at the goblin.
Exactly.
And I don't think you've ever treated an axe attack like that. I think it's because you enjoy dealing the damage that you that you put a bit more creativity on how that axe is coming in, and you legitimately sound excited when that axe comes down, instead of just being okay, I'm just going to attack that goblin with my axe and then roll the dice. I rolled 16. You know, it could be really boring.
Oh, it could be, and I think it would be boring for everyone else around me. Listening to it going, I swing my axe.
Yeah.
Yay! No, you know?
I reckon that's how those people who like get through half the campaign in one night, I reckon that's how they play.
Oh, that must be so boring though. Like I attacked this, I rolled a 20.
Or
I did
they play it really
damage.
clever.
Oh yeah, they just circumvent the whole plot somehow.
Yeah, maybe they get right to the end straight away.
They find that secret trapdoor that takes them to the end boss, and they kill him.
I'd love to see a version of Lost Mine that's done in like 12 sessions. I'd love to see what that looks like and what they have missed out on, or if it's enjoyable to watch or listen to, or if it's not meant to be enjoyable to watch or listen to, it's just enjoyable to play. You know, there's a big difference.
I don't know how that could be enjoyable to play. Like, I mean, it may just be me, but I don't know how playing in a situation where you roll a dice and you get a number, and depending on how it's done, but I just couldn't see that being fun without being as colourful as we are.
I like the colour.
I could see it being fun for certain people.
Yeah,
but not me.
Yeah, not me.
For me, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't enjoy it because I enjoy everyone's little quirks and colour that they add to their spells, or the fact that a battle can take almost 2 hours for us to do when it should only take 10 minutes. I mean, it's like that kind of colour and fun, and just even the stuff that you do, Regan, for your the enemies.
Right.
It's like that stuff just makes it fun because you get a bit of a better picture.
Yeah, I think I really sort of set a precedent for how battles were going to be from session 1. The moment those goblins started talking mid-battle, I think really set a precedent for how I wanted battles to feel. Yeah.
Because you can imagine a real battle where it's not just blah, blah, blah. You might get a moment where there's a bit of a lull and someone's throwing a barb or a jibe or something. And it's like, you what? Yeah. And then it carries on.
I just like the fact that the bard can do these magical insults that hurt, but everyone else is still throwing insults that don't hurt, So there's still time for people to be doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't think we've had as good a moment as Sig telling the goblin to eat his shit or something. I think that was still one of my favorite mid-fight quips. That was good. What are your guys' thoughts on removing feats moving forward? How attached are you guys to using feats or possibly looking into feats? If it is something you are wanting, then maybe we can look into it. But I personally didn't have good experience with the feats in the last campaign.
Currently, I'm not fussed about them because I haven't used them.
Right.
But I've looked at the list. Every time I level up, I look at the list of feats, and there's so many there that I'd love to do.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, but can I sacrifice the level up to do it? And I always come back to the stuff that I'm gaining in my level up process are almost better than a one-off kind of fancy trick that I might use. Well, obviously with the way Sig does it, he uses them almost every fight.
Literally every attack that was non-magical, he could just reduce it by 3. And at the levels you guys were playing at, that was substantial. That was a decent chunk.
So he chose that wisely. I mean, that was a really good choice, and it worked really well for him.
Yeah, especially since he was being the tank as well. He was getting in there. One of the tanks, I should say.
Yeah, it was quite clearly frustrating because you could never do any significant damage to him where he would stop fighting.
I was just
be out of it.
I was just playing by the book. Being my first time as a DM, I was being really strict with just playing to what I was told to use, the characters that I was using, and stuff like that. Whereas who I am now, I would totally mix things up now. I'd be more comfortable doing that. It just happened that you guys were fighting mainly melee enemies, and in situations where Sig could just get to the front, and Loris, and just block them from progressing, and so ended up just being spells and arrows coming from you guys from the back. Not every time. I am oversimplifying things, but in general, Sig was just taking the brunt of the damage and reducing it.
I do like that though, because that's working as a team.
True.
And using your tactics. I hate it when everyone's just in the room and you may as well not just be a square box.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
saying, like, hey, you block the door, and or whoever does what they're good at.
I guess my frustration came from the fact that I wanted to make sure that you guys were having fights where you felt like you came away from some of them feeling like you were super powerful, but coming away from others as if you only just got through by the skin of your teeth. And I don't think there were many of the latter.
There was more of the later fights, like the fireball one, and
Yeah. It wasn't
sort of
until
super-
Sig started getting injured that
when you started using magic on him that it got a bit scary and nervous. Like,
I don't know. I died about 4 times, so I might
Yeah.
not
That's a
agree.
good point. That's a good point.
That was mainly Billy Goblin that did that to you too, from appearing
That is
behind you
true.
and just going
I
slap.
think he got me once, but it was other things, just falling or
Yeah.
falling once, Bully Goblin killing me once, and a couple of other times.
I might just be being super selfish, to be honest.
Maybe.
Honestly,
I think,
it could just be that. Maybe I'm just wanting a bit more of that feeling of success for myself.
but imagine
to
how
win.
long it would have taken if half the battles were turned into like a knockdown, drag out mess where we're almost dying. Like the campaign would still be going for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But if you think
there's a
feats are
balance.
necessary, I mean, like, because at the moment, American, you've got one feat, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Does
a cool
anyone
feat.
else? Do you know if anyone else has taken any, Reagan?
No one else has taken one other than Sig, and he's not in this campaign,
Going to be
unfortunately.
there, yeah. So, I guess going forward, if we say, well, no more feats for the current leveling up, and none of us are terribly upset about that, then
Yeah. I mean, we can totally reassess. I think it's something that we can totally discuss in the future. I just don't want to get anyone
I think
at
if
a
someone
point.
is gaming that system, though, well, it is a game.
Yeah.
So and people
a
are liable to game the system. They're going to
Yeah.
go like, what's the most effective way that I can have a defense, and what's the most damage I can do, which is exactly what Dave's doing. That's one way of playing it. And if you're coming up, they should feel good about that. If they're doing that damage that they want to do, that's great. But they will have a weakness because they've basically min-maxing, so they'll have a minimum
That is
at
true.
one point.
And it's just making
And
sure
you just
that
got to know what it is.
Yeah. And make adjustments to actually make them known that the DM knows your weakness.
But
Yeah. The reason I chose my feat, like the way I now look at powering up in like games and stuff, I'm like, will this ability be fun, or will it be just like a mechanical thing that I forget I even have, and therefore it doesn't bring me any enjoyment? And the reason that I chose the Elven Accuracy one is because I'm like, it's fun when your character succeeds at hitting things. This will help me hit the thing. So I will enjoy that.
It's frustrating if you miss all the time,
Yeah.
And I've got this internal rule where if like a necromancy spell comes up, I have to pick it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's flavor. I like it.
That's cool. And the other thing about
Most
the
of them
Elven...
suck.
The Elven Accuracy thing is that you actually have to try to get advantage to actually get any benefit, so it kind of forces you to try and be creative. So I was like, this one's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like feats that like reward creativity, that reward thinking. Whereas like Sig's one was just this automatic min-max thing, which is cool. It suited his character.
Because there's a few
that's
like
fine.
that give you super attacks or super defense.
Or it just
and like for me, often I look as like which will give me the best defense. Because remember early on, I was really worried about getting smashed and trying to increase my AC.
Yes.
Which is completely anti-barbarian. Like barbarians charge and don't give a shit about themselves. They're just to go and destroy.
Yeah.
That's the basic premise. But I was constantly worried about if I get hit, I'm dead. So I was working on how I could increase my AC. And that's the other advantage of flicking into fighter is you get at some point you get an extra level of an extra AC point.
Yeah, which is cool. Which is great.
Which
character.
works for my flavor and for what I want to do.
Yeah,
it works.
Without Sig, you now don't have 2 tanks. So you need to make sure that the tank you do have can take a bit of a beating.
Well, I guess that depends on what Adam decides to be.
True.
Like if he comes in as a fighter type, then hey, that's cool. Although was it Jackalope saying that we need a cleric because we don't actually have a proper healer bar?
Yeah, who says
We've put two medium healers.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the Bard and
Jack
the Druid.
Daylight. Yeah, Jack Daylight said
Jack
they were going to
Daylight,
need a
sorry.
cleric.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because
Is
American
that
and
right? Because of Strahd, or
I don't know. I don't know. It was going to be interesting.
because a Bard and a Druid are kind of 50-50 healers, right? They're not like full on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they have some healing spells, but not a huge amount.
Yeah.
Whereas a cleric is literally your medic.
Furry Blue Elf says you never need a cleric. All right.
Harsh.
It's harsh. I
don't-
really just want to play a cleric now.
Well,
Yeah.
if we ever get Furry Blue Elf in a one shot or something like that,
Make
we'll make him a cleric.
Make him play. He was talking a while back about trying to join in.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, the last time I mentioned this to you, you were terrified of streaming and having people watch you. So it's only taken him a year.
As the rule, you do have to have a camera if you're going to join us for any one shots in the future.
if I was going to play a game, I would go a cleric. I reckon that's my original D&D type.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I really like it.
Okay.
That's why I went as a cleric gnome in that text one.
Oh,
it was pretty fun.
That was really cool. I quite like what I saw of
Have you
Pugman.
heard the good word of Gal?
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh my god! when you turned, I was like, what the?
Oh, we could tell,
He
Dave.
was really dangerous when he turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what on earth?
He was evil, and then because he got taken over by a cursed object, but when my subordinates died, I was able to raise them, so they would get knocked down and come back.
That's cool.
Oh my goodness!
Dangerous.
So that was the staff, yeah. That was the curse of that staff.
Yeah, staff.
Random.
I just want to go back to feats for a moment. And just talk about, so the one other feat that I've seen in action was one that I used as Finn, which was anytime I rolled a 1, I could just roll again.
That was lucky, yeah.
So,
It was a
yeah.
halfling.
Oh, what was it? Oh no, that was halfling luck. So I had halfling luck, which was already part of the class trait, but I had 3 luck points as well. So it just basically meant I could never fail. And there's
Right.
interesting things come from failing.
Yeah.
And it just meant I just no longer failed. I don't think I played. I think I min-maxed that character to the point of boredom accidentally, purely like I didn't try to.
Yeah.
Some of the funnest moments I had as Alce were when I failed. Like when I threw myself off that ship into the ground. Like,
You didn't throw yourself.
Well, I got dragged. I say threw myself because I'd like to say I did it with some intent. But
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I don't know. D&D is a really interesting beast when you can accidentally become bored.
Because you made yourself too good at it.
Because
Well, just something cool comes up and you don't think of the consequences. Like when we picked up Griffin, the excitement level because you
Yeah,
had
that
a
was
pet,
so
I had a
cool.
pet, and it was like, oh my god, we've all got these animals. It's going to be freaking amazing. And then basically Finn would get on the back of this Griffin, fly up and shoot arrows at things. And like, oh come on, dude, we had so much fun when we were on foot.
Yeah, but no, John never introduced anyone that was a threat to that Griffin.
And it would have taken another flying creature, I guess, or a rock or
Someone who
something
could
else.
target.
Someone who could
flying
target.
Just
Or just a freezer in
Call down
midair and
lightning
you
on
just
it, you
drop
know.
just like a stone.
Yeah.
I'd make quick work of that Griffin.
That's
and
what I'm
be like
saying.
KFC
Yeah.
in no time.
Dead.
Yeah,
But
lightning bolt.
I am
Griffin died.
having seen like Ranzen, I can understand John not wanting to give a creature only to take away a creature, because there's been so many points where I was like,
true.
I could totally kill Ranzen right now, and I'm like, but then
Yeah,
I'd feel
I
like a
wanted to
real
talk about
asshole. So yeah,
I was saying I wanted to talk about. I'm on the fence about whether I should have the spider with me or not.
Or it's eating you.
It's eaten me, and I'm
And
now
it's
playing
now you.
as Ranzen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ranzen is now human size and basically has
And
all
has
the hit
my
points that
face
you have.
coming out of its belly. We've become one.
we could turn you
kind of
into a
monster.
Drider, which is like a drow
Drider,
spider.
yeah,
They're a
yeah.
combined spider.
This is like my
drow.
nightmare.
But
Let's do
wouldn't you
it.
have to- that is kind of-
Plus the poor villagers in Curse of Strahd wouldn't know what the shit was going on if that rocked up.
I mean, the poor
An Ella
village.
Rider?
Yeah.
What? I was
Is it
going to say,
Eladrin?
forget
Eladrider.
Eladrider. Yeah, sure. I was going to say, forget the villagers in Curse of Strahd. What about the poor villagers in Phandalin?
They would have gotten
They'd
used
just
to you
be
by
like,
now.
wow.
Or her
Yeah,
other
Yeah, it's like
party
boiling the
members,
frog. They wouldn't have noticed.
the other party members who are having to deal with a necromancer walking around with a skeleton and a zombie, and now their friend has turned into a spider.
Yeah, it's just like a woman's torso coming out of a giant
what
spider, just
the-
strolling down the street holding like a bag of apples from the grocer, and they're just like,
Didn't we
there
just
she
kill one of
goes.
those? Wasn't that one of the enemies at the end?
That
That was
was
what Nesnar turned into
yeah,
in the Christmas special.
Yeah,
he
that's
turned
right.
into a abomination of reindeer. He was a range rider.
Oh, he was a reindeer. That's right, reindeer. Yeah.
So
Ranger
maybe I
Rider.
saw him after we killed him, and I was like, that's actually a really good look for me, honestly.
He
Yeah,
fucking
no.
pulled that off.
I think I'd
I reckon I
rather
could do
use a
that.
spider, to be fair.
Like 8 pairs of shoes. I was like, "Oh."
I think I'd rather you kept the spider.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep the spider or not, because like you say, like it is a whole, it kind of can slow the game down a bit, because you're like, oh, what does the spider do? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and I have to figure out the spider as well. I guess it bites a guy.
But
It's
we did
kind of,
it-
I don't
we
know,
did-
maybe I should just get rid of him.
We had some cool moments with the
And
spider.
you're worried that he's going to die.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed the Loris mind melding with the spider. That was
That
actually
was
quite fun.
cool, man. Oh, that was
That
definitely
worked
one of my
quite well.
favorite moments. That was just so cool.
And I can't do that if I don't have a familiar animal around, unless I find one and
Just-
sit it there for a minute.
Yeah.
and
Just the
Here's
idea
an
of this
idea.
tank brute sitting down, meditating, and melding with a spider for a moment was just the coolest shit.
And while like this crazy elf lady just looks on, like nodding approvingly, like I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, you
Um,
get that shit, Loris.
what-
Yeah.
It's like, don't love them.
Yeah.
What? I was gonna say like maybe we could homebrew a rule so that the pet / mascot is not too intrusive into the game. Like maybe it's like, oh, he's not just automatically in combat. I have to use like a bonus action to call on him or something.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the thing about your spider specifically was that it could move into the ethereal plane and just sort of tug itself away into the ethereal plane. It was a phase spider. So
What did I just miss?
did you miss me saying something?
Oh,
No, there's some kind of malarkey going on with those two.
Tucking himself away, I think, Shannon.
Hugging
Into the
himself
ethereal
away.
plane.
You know, he puts on his little dress and just tucks it back. So he can get into the ethereal plane. So, I mean, by all means, if you want to be able to call upon him at any time, he could come darting out of the ethereal plane.
Maybe that way he doesn't have to be in the turn order of every single fight, being just kind of clogging up the mix, slowing us down even more than we're already going to be slow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because I like the idea of growing the party in natural, normal ways. Like, obviously, Shannon's going to be bringing things to life because that's what a necromancer does. And whether or not Shannon wants to utilize those things to do things and keep them for a specific task, then it's kind of what we just have to deal with as it comes along. I don't mind, but I just don't want to be responsible for remembering them.
But you kind
Can we
of do
control
have to be
tokens?
responsible at some points because he's got to be in the turn order and you're in control of that. So
Actually, I've just figured out how to move that to you so you can add. Shannon, were you saying something?
No, I'm just saying it's good that we can control the guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think if they're our pets, then absolutely we should be controlling them. Yeah, they're our familiars or whatever. We should be dealing with them and not you're taking responsible and asking us what's so and so doing or what such and such this creature doing.
yeah. Yeah.
I think Shannon cut out for a second there, so I'm
Oh,
gonna.
really?
I don't
So you
think.
couldn't hear me.
I think he cut out for me as well. So I don't think that was you, Joe. Hopefully.
Ooh.
It was just for a bit. I have noticed sometimes if other people are talking and you talk, your audio seems to be the first to disappear.
Mine?
Yeah. If people are talking at the same time. I guess Whereby does this thing where it kind of gives priority to certain things, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking rude that it's me every time. Whereby,
That's
Um,
racist.
I wonder if I should get a new.
oh, maybe. Random Origins has asked if player donation spawns will be back.
Oh my god!
Now that was a really
They slow it down.
what was that?
Like Billy.
Yes, like Billy.
To be fair, that's probably something we want to do, right? How much money do we manage to get?
We don't want to. Jesus Christ! We're not.
No, okay. Let me finish this statement.
Well,
The amount of money that we raised from Billy enabled us to get Strahd at no
Okay.
cost to anyone else. Like that's
Alright.
an investment into us and into what we do, right?
I like being fully transparent with this kind of thing. It was the donations from that kind of stuff from Billy spawning and all the cheering that really enabled us to get the stream deck for easily switching between different faces for our NPCs that I control. It enabled us to buy a D&D Beyond Pro account for the year, which has been fantastic. It has enabled us to buy Curse of Strahd both in book form and in Roll20 form to make sure that I can be as prepared as possible for this upcoming thing. And it's enabled us to do just pay for a bunch of other just small bits and pieces that have all gone back to this stream, including things like the software that I was using to change my voice during the Call of Cthulhu stream. So we're really putting a lot of money back into the stream. So every time that you throw us a bit, every time you donate some money, anytime that you buy a shirt, anything that ends up with us having any of those coins or cash coming through, it really does help grow this
so that's what I'm
stream
saying.
further.
Like we should, as a crew, we should be saying, well, let's keep doing that because it's enabled us to improve what we do.
Oh, it
And
enabled
keep
us
It's not like
to.
we're sitting going, yeah, I'm rolling in coin because you people,
Yeah,
I think it should be like when it reaches the milestone, Strahd shows up.
now
It does a dance,
now
maybe.
that is something I have
He throws
thought
a card
about.
at us.
Now that is something that I have thought about. So it sounds like you already I don't know if you knew already or not, but there is an aspect of Strahd showing up in this campaign. And an aspect of it. So it is kind of, he does show up at different points. You do meet this
Like
like
a curse.
it's not like Nesna where you meet him at the end. This is going to be hopefully a villain that you have emotions towards, whether those are good or bad. Someone you will know pretty well by the end of this campaign. And the idea of being able to spawn, like the players deciding when Strahd shows up, could be interesting, but it wouldn't be nearly as regular as Billy, because Billy was like almost every session when we started incorporating it, and that got boring.
A lot of time.
Yes.
Billy got to be his own story, which was fun, but it got very repetitive.
I love that
after
we
a
were
while.
able to make that its own story. It really incorporate that in.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's some good
you wouldn't
highlights.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want Strahd showing up every 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, bloody hell, this guy again!"
No.
Such a pain.
So
I like the idea of Billy, how he leveled up with us.
Yes.
How he started off as a goblin, then he became a hobgoblin, and then by the end of it, he was just some massive giant, God knows what.
yeah.
That was kind of fun, and I don't know whether that would overcomplicate Strahd or not, but something like that, obviously, the followers.
Every donation makes Strahd weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure the followers would get into that.
It could be every milestone a minion of Strahd shows up or something. It could be
The minions.
the minions who show
yeah.
up. By the way, actually,
yellow things on
that's
one
a
eye.
really good point. I needed to
Everyone
announce
loves them.
that we are being sponsored by Universal Studios this season, and we will have the minions.
Yeah, and I'm actually working on a costume for American that's actually just going to be a minion.
And Snapchat
It's
filters
going to be
for
really
everyone.
cool. It's going to impress all the Facebook bums. It's going to get us a whole new market.
Yeah.
Is it Despicable Strad? Is it? The new one.
So maybe if the viewers have an idea of what they want their donations to go towards, maybe that would be a good thing to discuss. If you're going to be supporting us, what do you want to see? Obviously, we don't. The story and the players' enjoyment of what's going on is the most important thing. Because if they get bored with what we agree on, they'll leave, and then we won't have anyone to play this campaign. So we need to make sure they get out of here. So we just need to make sure that they have the most fun at every point of this campaign. Joe,
every donation is like strip poker for Strahd. He shows up wearing one less item of clothing. Thoughts?
How about every donation? He loses one of the cards he throws onto the ground.
Oh yeah. By the time he gets in.
Yeah. So we'll have to have a think about it. We didn't include that system until like 7 sessions or 8 sessions into the first campaign. So it might take us some time to sort of think over what we want to do and how we want to incorporate it, because
every milestone could be like it conjures up something from one of the player characters' past, but we don't know whose it's going to be or what it is. Oh no!
Yeah, I mean that's
this.
one way of digging into characters' backstories and stuff as well, which is quite fun. Oh dear.
Oh man.
Every donation brings a new minion.
Oh, yeah. Bandana.
I've never watched it,
Me neither.
but I can't imagine I ever will.
Yeah, I don't know what they do or what they say. I just know they hate
seriously,
them.
have none of you watched any of the Despicable Me's?
Why would we?
No.
Oh, they're hilarious.
Well, I don't know. They might be funny, but I feel like I'm prejudiced against them now because of all the annoying Facebook mums who like them too much.
Yeah.
The Despicable Me movies are hilarious, and the Minions are funny as hell.
Okay.
That is coming from my inner 9-year-old.
I haven't watched them, so I can't judge.
I love them. I think they're hilarious.
Okay.
But that's because I'm a kid and I just love them.
Okay, this one's for you then, Dave.
Just for you, Dave.
Oh yeah. Actually, Shannon, if you could play a minion, I'd be stoked.
I guarantee someone's built like a minion character sheet.
It'd be so fun.
Guarantee it. Oh man.
Oh dear, that would be so fun.
But yeah, it is really interesting. We want you to support us because that makes us be able to do cooler things. So come and let us know in the Discord, or put it in the chat while we're on now, or come talk to us next week when we're on doing session 0. But oh man, that minion. Oh man.
It's growing on me. I think
it's definitely growing.
I think this is the right call. I think we found our new direction.
Yeah.
This one's like a David Bowie minion because his eyes are different.
Yeah,
this is
cool.
crazy.
Mate, hey, we've gotten into the lore here.
You must be special to have such different eyes. Is this a chosen minion?
Who's got a brown eye?
Oh, don't.
Make it stop. So this is one of the ways you can get banned from being in our adventuring party.
Ooh, Octoboss had a really good idea, actually. This is what do you guys think of this? Each donation increases an evil threat meter. So basically the ominous evil presence in the area. Whenever random events are triggered, either on the travel or the intensity of the event is dictated by how high the evil tracker it is. Ooh, so it might also have other modifiers in the world, e.g. high evil counter means new NPCs are more likely to be evil, and so on.
That's cool. That's cool. That's kind of like how we you slowed the appearance of Billy down with the tracker.
Mm.
Would that lead to metagaming though?
You guys wouldn't see it unless you were watching the stream.
Dave watches it.
True. True. Yeah, that is an interesting one. I like something about that. I'm gonna think about that one for a bit. I've got a few weeks to sort of think on what we want to do with that. But I like it. I think that's got some gold in there somewhere.
What about switching it? The higher the meter is, the more sunshine and lollipops there are in the world.
In Strahd, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the higher it gets, everything starts turning into candy.
Sounding more like a minion dream than anything.
Or cloudy with a chance of meatball.
Yeah. I'm sorry, like I said, we're going to bring in as many Universal Studios things as possible. So maybe, I don't know.
Thanks to our new sponsors, Universal Studios. Can't believe we landed one of the biggest corporations in the world
Do you
early
reckon
in
if
our
we keep
streaming
dropping their
career.
name, they'll actually sponsor us because it'll spark some kind of tweet meter or something?
I do
I don't
not. I absolutely
It'll
do.
spark a tweet meter, Reagan.
It'll spark the tweet meter.
The internet's
The official,
listening, right?
the official tweet meter.
You say
If we
you
mean
say, you
it
say
hard
something often
enough.
enough. You say something
Yeah.
often enough, someone's hearing you. Hey,
God.
Cheese. Yeah, cheese. Here he is, everybody. I'm sorry,
Oh
other
my God,
official
he's
Been a
sponsor.
long time.
The other official sponsor, McDonald's. McDonald's and Universal
Thanks,
Studios
McDonald's.
have really come
I'm loving
together
it.
to make sure that Getting Dicey Season 2 is going to be the best season of D&D
I
on
honestly,
the internet.
I reckon, just title every single one of our streams USJ and McDonald's present.
I like that.
Getting
USJ.
Dicey.
Damn, nice.
Oh, sorry, not USJ, Universal Studios.
Yeah,
Still got Japan on my mind.
yeah.
Universal Studios and McDonald's presents Getting Dicey.
Yeah. Let's just do it.
we get so many more hits, and you'd probably get a letter from one of them saying cease and desist.
I think
That'd be
Twitch
awesome.
would just ban us.
And every time we go to break, we'll just pull out like McDonald's chips and just sit there and eat them for a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The 3D
I'm
glasses
loving
on.
it. Or get John to do it. Like the bard is like,
Oh, don't. I don't want to hear that.
Actually, yeah, we should make the bards sing only in McDonald's jingles.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, new thing.
Shannon, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Octobos pointed out that Mayor McCheese kind of has yellow cheese vampire teeth.
Oh my god.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
But
Oh my god.
Could this
And
be
like
Strahd?
Collar.
I've never thought about that. That's really
Strahd's long lost cousin. Oh
And look,
my
he's got like
god.
a
What's he
watch or something
holding?
that comes out of- I think
He's
it's
got a pocket watch or a
He's
on
the
a
mayor.
chain.
He's always got to be on
Yeah.
time.
Oh.
He's going
or is it a
nuts.
pen? It's hard to tell.
Maybe we have countdowns. The donation spawns different McDonald's characters.
I'm really
please.
scared. Like, imagine how frightening Grimace would be coming at you in the dark. Like,
That's what I'm
holy
saying.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. The
This is
fries
more like,
kids.
All those
Yeah,
nuggets.
they were
The
scary.
Fries kids, I
The
don't
fries
remember
kids
them.
are terrifying. They just.
Yeah.
How did the fries hold? How are they held together?
The Fries
They're just
kids.
fries.
Is there
I
something?
don't remember
Do the
them.
fries
Maybe I've
join?
blocked them out.
Do the fries join up together to make it just a solid potato center? The fries children are scary. I don't like them. I don't like. Do you know there's a pirate? There was actually a pirate character as well, like a captain for the Filet-O-Fish.
Is it so good?
Hang on.
Right now, Shannon is Googling it and he's going to add it to his terrifying cavalcade of
please.
characters.
Supposedly, I don't know how easy it's going to be to find him. It's quite a rare.
Captain Crook.
There we go, Captain Crook.
It's quite
Captain
a
Crook was a-
rare
quite a
McDonald's.
He was a series pirate in 1970 to 99. Oh my god, there's actually.
And because it
Wiki
was the
pages with all the
70s,
characters on.
I'm sure he looks terrifying. No mascot from the 70s.
You had the Hamburglar. He was pretty.
Yeah,
terrifying,
actually,
am I
so
right?
we can actually assign D&D classes pretty easily. Obviously, Hamburglar is a rogue.
He's a rogue.
Yeah.
Grimace is a barbarian.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, come on.
What's Ronald
I don't
McDonald?
know.
What's
Oh,
Ronald
Grimace
McDonald?
would be a
Probably a
cleric.
bard.
Probably a bard, right?
Ronald
Oh my
McDonald.
goodness,
Yeah.
Captain Crook. was
I
terrible.
suppose he's an entertainer, isn't he? He's a
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
He was an
bard.
entertainer. Yeah.
He'd be undead, though, because he's terrifying.
Although, have you
What
seen
was
him?
that? Oh, there's Birdie. That's obviously a druid in wild shape.
Ronald is a pedo. Jesus. So that was someone from our chat.
That's not a D&D class, is it?
Oh, is that
It really shouldn't be. It should
Yeah.
not be an official
Oh,
My
class.
next
man.
character is
Fourth
that
edition.
class.
I'm going to have to check the player handbook, actually. I don't think that's a real class.
Are those
Okay.
the fries kids?
These are the fries kids.
Why are the fries kids?
They look like Kush balls, not fries. What?
They're fries. They're like fries. They're just different
That-
coloured fries.
Really reminds me of like Punky Brewster and stuff like that.
It is so amazingly 80s. It's amazing.
That's brilliant.
I like that
Asnog,
one has a cowboy hat though.
Asnog's just asking if we use D&D Beyond. We absolutely do. When we go live with the new campaign, we'll be switching the D&D overlay back on, the D&D Beyond overlay, so you can kind of keep track of hit points and inspiration and all that kind of stuff as we play. Just like last time. Just make sure it went down pretty well, I think, which was cool. Can we talk about inspiration for a bit? We brought that up. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
The Fries kids have made me think about inspiration because they're so inspiring.
They are actually, aren't they? Look at them all getting along,
they're
even though they're
adorable.
different colours.
Exactly. All the colours of the half rainbow, I think.
Half rainbow.
Yeah. Inspiration is really hard to remember as a DM. I've got so many other things that I'm trying to bounce around. When you guys do something cool, I kind of get caught up in the fact that you've done something cool and I forget to reward it. I'm just like, that's cool. How do we want to deal with inspiration this time? Do you guys want to point out if something is exceptionally good or deserves...
Isn't that?
Nah, that feels forced.
Okay.
Because like you do something that you think's cool and go, oh hey Regan, that was kind of cool.
Not yourself. I don't want you to... hey, that was pretty cool of me.
Going, like, so one person goes, hey, that was really kind of cool, and everyone's like going,
Yeah, that would be awkward.
It's better.
I've had a few
better
times
from the
when I've
DM.
done something cool and I'd be like, I wish I got inspiration for that. But I would, it's like, honestly doesn't matter though.
Doesn't it?
I think that the times you've dished it out, like I often have it and I forget that I've got it.
That's the other thing as well, yeah.
And it's not until I go, oh shit, I've got inspiration, or the bard gives us bardic inspiration. And I go, oh crap, I've got inspiration from that other thing I did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So I find I tend to forget about it because I don't look at my character sheet or that part of the character sheet that often.
How
Well,
important
if you get it a lot, though, you could probably use it.
Exactly,
Well,
exactly.
it only gives you advantage. Normal inspiration gives you advantage on.
No!
Fucking Ronald McDonald.
Put the pedo away.
Here he is. Uh-oh.
Oh, let's get the cross beside him.
Oh,
Come
oh!
on.
This is like a tease right now. Okay.
See, he's doing what a pedo clown does.
Hey, kids.
No.
Look, he's even holding hands.
Is that
with the
Captain Crook?
That's Captain
Oh,
Crook.
wow. Oh, who's this on the side though? Some kind of mole person?
Ooh.
Who is that?
Oh, jeez, I
What's
don't
in
like
his
that.
pockets?
He looks really scary.
Why is he like this? What's in his pockets?
That's
Grimace.
Grimace.
Everyone loves Grimace.
Hey.
Come on.
He's.
So you're
Do you
supposed to
remember
keep him. You're not supposed to dominate.
Do you remember the toy, the big playgrounds we used to have? And Grimace was that rocking cage.
And kids used to like
Yeah.
smash their faces
Just go
into the metal
nuts, and,
bars.
like,
Yeah,
poof, it was just-
all the time. Every time I was at McDonald's, some kid was
And
crying.
the Big Mac, the
because
cop
they'd
was a
smashed
prison.
their
Like you
face.
climb up, the Big Mac guy, would you climb up his legs and
Yeah.
you end up his head? Yeah, and
Yeah,
there was
little
always one
window.
kid who was too big and couldn't get out. See, the Hamburglar just looks so dodgy with that cape.
He looks like he's
And he's got the
selling
fry
Rolex.
kids beside him.
Mm.
Like, that's just-
Dave, someone said they don't want to burst your bubble. Well, they are going to burst your bubble. But
they're going to
sadly-
burst my bubble by preempting that, but thanks.
They're saying
Who is it?
that well, they've said war/barb. Oh, I guess maybe fighter/barbarian death machine. Extra attacks don't stack.
Ooh.
So,
So I wasn't sure about that. When I read it, it's sort of up to DM was what I read.
Like they subtract.
Dave, you get no turns this round, and in every round. Sorry. I'm gonna have to look into that one. I have to look
Yeah,
into that
so
one.
Otherwise, because that's just like that's the sort of multi-classing that is used to game the system, and that's what they try and cut down on.
Yeah.
With their multi-classing rules.
Yeah, because I know that there are ways that you can really take advantage of multi-classing. I want to avoid just making something that is like getting all the glory. It would be fun for no one if only Loris ends up killing everything because he just has to look at them and they die.
Yeah.
But everything is resistant to axes.
Yeah. It's under multi-class rules 101. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't read the multi-class rules.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should.
I'm just playing around.
Yeah,
with things.
dude. I think I want
rules
you to
are there.
read the multi-class
Yeah, I'll read
rules. Yeah.
With pleasure, I will read
Yeah.
them. By next week, I'll be an expert on multi-classing rules. So throw all
Okay.
your arguments that
Okay,
you
That's
want.
that's a good thing about playing online though, because you can just say, "Hey, smart people in the chat,
Yeah.
what are we doing wrong?"
Yeah. What do
What
you
do you
guys?
reckon?
How do you guys feel about that? Anyway, there's a lot of times where we've been called out for doing something slightly wrong, and to be honest, it was my first time DMing. We're all going to get a bunch of things wrong. Are you guys happy to stop and chat to the chat to find out, or is that slowing things down too much, and we should just roll with whatever feels right?
Only if it's serious,
Depends
I
on the
think that-
situation.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
think
ever
the chat
really
needs to be involved.
serious? Is it ever really serious enough?
Well, if it's someone getting 4 attacks instead of 2, I mean, that's something
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
that will
point.
go on. But if
But,
it's
like-
like some basic shit like, oh, you can't, you need to use cold steel or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that isn't
Yeah,
actually
like-
an interesting one. I don't know.
Also, hope you guys
rude.
hope you guys are warming up your dance moves because Octobus has subscribed for a 3rd month.
I'm already warmed up. I'm ready.
Huh? There we go. Thank you so much, dude. All your support rules. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, according to the internet, damn you internet, if you gain an extra attack class feature for more than one class, the feature doesn't add together. You can't make more than 2 attacks with this feature unless it says you do. As a
Oh,
fighting version,
Dave.
it does. There you go. I might have to rechange my.
That did
Yeah.
sound like a lot of damn attacks, actually. Now I think
It did,
about
right?
it.
It's all right. It's fine.
Oh,
It
well.
just means I get to rethink and get to play with it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes it even more
but-
fun.
What I was saying, wanting to say about like if people want to correct stuff in the chat, I think that's all good. But it doesn't mean we have to address it like straight away. If like there's an important moment happening, you can always be like in the break, like, "Oops, we got that rule wrong." Like, oh well, we'll know now. But
Yeah.
you don't have to like stop the action and like debate. Oh, was I meant to be doing a perception
Yeah.
roll or a wisdom roll? Or like,
Yeah, I'm happy to
'Cause I
have
think
it. I'm happy to have it wrong and push ahead and figure out we
Yeah.
did it wrong and then just change it going forward. Like that's totally fine.
So that's kind of how we
Yeah.
did it last time. It's like if the chat raised something, we're like, "Oh yeah, I do it this way,"
Yeah, yeah.
and then discuss it later.
yeah. Or
Shannon-
like I realized that I made a mistake like 5 minutes later. I was like, oh no, I
What did, yeah,
cheated.
you did this a few times, eh, Joe? You kind of there was
I keep
confusion
forgetting
about changing into a bear and then moving and attacking, and you were like,
Yeah.
no, I was only
I would-
allowed to change into a bear and then wait.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
what I did like twice. I think I forgot. I got a bit too excited.
Bearican
Fair
was
enough. You're a
awesome.
bear. You're a bearican. Are we going to see a return of bearican?
Probably, maybe.
Good.
You could be
Bearican's-
Batrican if we're going into Stride Village
Now
town.
we're talking.
That's true. I wonder what the terrain's going to be like because I'm a druid of the forest, so I wonder.
Ooh, you might be out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, depending
All
if there's
castle.
forests around, I might not get to use any of my cool abilities anyway. Some of them,
Like Loris going
some of them
into
are
sleep
forest
online.
based.
Yeah. Random Origin says Bearican is OP, and I agree, but only in the best
Nah.
ways possible because it was so cool.
In a good way.
Bearican
Honestly-
absolutely destroyed so many people, and it was only ever enjoyable.
But
Good rolls.
I did
Yeah.
get very lucky with my rolls,
Yes,
and as
yeah.
you did see on at least one occasion, the AC of Bearican is really low and doesn't have that many hit points. So,
So
like,
yeah, you were
if I
taken.
roll well, I'm like real beast. But if I get hit, maybe not so much.
Yeah, you were taken out of bear form twice, I think.
Could you
Yeah,
be an
so it's not
owl
that
bearican now?
What?
Could you be an owl bearican? Because you've seen one.
Well, actually, an owlbear is not a beast; it is an abomination.
Forgot about it.
Yeah, you can't be creatures.
So
can't
as
be
you level up, your beast changing abilities increase, right? You can take on more complex creatures,
Yeah, I can take on higher challenge ratings.
and at some point you get, if you change into a bird, you can fly for a certain distance. Hey,
Oh yeah, you can get flying speed and swimming speed at the higher levels.
cool. See, I've been doing some reading.
Yeah.
George.
You can help me level up. Yeah.
Just
Honestly,
gotta
like,
read the
this
multi-class
is the sort of stuff I do when I'm bored. I just read about classes and I play with D&D and Beyond to see what you can do.
Yeah.
It's fun. I find it really interesting, and like there's just so many different things that you can add to. It's like a wormhole.
It's pretty complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's huge. I don't know. I still don't know whether it's as complex as Call of Cthulhu. That was really
That was
interesting.
crazy.
That was really
Like, that
interesting.
was really involved.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of euros. And I think I'm going to take, I was saying to Joe offline that I'm probably going to bring in some of those things that I liked from Call of Cthulhu. I like the idea that if you try something and fail, you can have another go, but now I'm going to let you know what's going to happen if it fails. So you can weigh up whether or not it's worth having another go.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good dynamic way to resolve things, though,
High
like
stakes.
as well.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, no, we're not going through this door now. Sorry.
We go
if you
home
take
now.
this risk, this could happen if you fail. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if you like shoot at a bunch of people in a dark room, like knowing that you might hit someone.
Oh my goodness! When Adam did that, I was just like, "Oh dear God!"
That was an amazing moment.
And quite realistic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't hear Shannon just now.
Oh,
Yeah, I can understand.
no one can hear me?
No, I heard you. I heard you. Can you hear
I was
us?
just saying it's quite realistic to shoot people in a dark room.
Can you hear him, Joe?
Can you hear me?
I can hear some.
Uh-oh.
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 Uh-oh. What did
Is
you
it
do?
me?
Did you change something?
I haven't changed anything.
Hmm.
I changed into
Joe, can you
Grimace.
Are we back? Are we back with you, Joe, or can you not hear us?
I mean, I can hear everyone, I think, except for Shannon, who's a bit intermittent.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, see, I did.
We're not missing
Shannon
much.
flicks in and out for me too.
Really? Shannon, have you got it on the old style whereby or on the new?
I do.
Okay, I'm out of ideas. That was it. That was literally it. That was it. Okay.
Oh, well, this is good. If we get the issues now, I can try it out now.
Because I heard Shannon fine that whole time, but you two didn't. So that's really strange. You two are using.
Yeah, that is strange.
You two are using Mac OS. Shannon, you're using Windows.
Windows 7.
7.
I'm gonna update it.
Yeah, no, that's good. You should. You should. Absolutely should. What is Grimace though? Is he like a big weird old moldy nugget? No, he's a thick shake, isn't he? Isn't he a milkshake or a thick shake or something? That's why he's holding all the shakes.
No, he's an abomination.
He's a thick shake.
Is he a beast or an abomination?
Can I wild shake
Grimakin.
Grimace if I see him?
I want Grimakin.
No, you have to wild
Grimakin.
shake. You wild shake Grimace.
And I grab people and shake them until their insides liquefy, and then
until they turn purple
into thick shakes.
Yeah, I heard he was just like anthropomorphized thick shake, but
He has a large purple I can't even say that word. Being of indeterminate species with short arms and legs, he's known for a slow-witted demeanor. He's the most common expression of the word "duh" before every sentence.
I think he's like the anthropomorphized version of all the regret of everyone that worked and has ever worked at McDonald's.
Oh, come on. They're hardworking people. Look, he's got 4 arms in this one, though.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's very frightening.
That's why he or she looks like a caterpillar or something, like from Alice in Wonderland.
He's not a caterpillar.
He'd be right at home.
He doesn't
in Call
normally
of
have
Cthulhu.
multiple arms.
Yeah.
Look like the water fry.
Octopus is he's regret. He's the embodiment of regret.
He looks pretty happy to me.
Yeah.
He's got fucking 8 shapes.
It's the only time he is happy is when he's binging on unhealthy food. It's so regrettable.
Oh,
Do you think he's happy the
Jesus.
next day? Of course he's not happy.
It's a dark look at modern consumerism.
He's an evil beast lord.
Mere
These two are
McCheese, though,
brothers.
is true
Wow.
happiness.
An Officer
They're
Big Mac.
working together, right? So the mayor and the head of police
Yeah.
are touching hands.
Well,
in some sort of.
Oh.
they are. I tell you what, those two are terrified because right next to them is someone who wants to steal their heads.
Yeah. No, he only steals
Yeah.
hamburgers, not cheeseburgers or
Okay, all right.
Oh.
quarter pounders.
Quarter pounder.
I'm just saying, if there's a quarter pounder guy and there's a Big Mac headed guy, there's probably hamburger headed
Big Mac.
guys getting murdered by the Hamburglar.
He's a burglar, not a murderer.
But to
He's a
steal the
Hamburglar.
head
He's probably a home invader.
and a rapist, disgusting.
I need to talk about that freaky guy in the trench coat with
Yeah.
freaking whatever in his pockets. What is
I
that?
imagine
Is he a
he's
doctor of some sort?
he's-
If I had,
Sensei
it's
Gherkin.
possible that he is Uncle, the
Gherkin.
Irish uncle.
Irish uncle?
There's an Irish uncle.
Like a
what's his name?
shamrock kind of.
No, he looks like a professor.
Do they ever have shamrock
He's so
things
scary.
in McDonald's?
Uncle O'Grimacy.
What?
Oh my god, is he related to Grimace?
Did he turn into Grimace?
And he has a light bulb on top of his head.
Is it
Was
like
he
a
just
Jekyll
Professor
Hyde
McDonald?
situation? Uncle O'Grimacy turns into Grimace.
Oh my god.
Is he just Professor McDonald's?
Because
That person exists according to the list of characters.
Octobos says if you were worried about a Hamburglar and you had a head and your head was a hamburger, you just stick some cheese in your mouth to pretend you were a cheeseburger. But Octobos, that's terrifying because cheese in this world is just a part of someone else's head. So you'd have to go like grave digging and pull out like
Oh wow,
parts
that's
of
very
that
true.
and put it into yours. And
You'd
that's
have like a bit of an Ed Gein situation on your hands when
It's
you're
like
digging up the corpses of you.
placing the cheese on your face like someone else's. I'm a cheeseburger.
Dancing around.
yeah, tucked in.
I think we've covered it all, really, haven't we?
I think we might
you
have
would
covered
think
it all.
so.
We haven't. Oh wait, he's
Uh-oh.
preparing. Something.
Oh, God.
He's preparing something.
You would think that you'd covered it. Well, however,
However. Oh god.
Oh, Cosmic.
What is
What
this?
is
yeah, this.
It's
Can
Cosmic,
you
isn't it?
guess what his name is?
Well, Dave's
Wow.
yelling out "cosmic."
Yes, it's Cosmic. Like McDonald's Cosmic.
Doesn't answer much.
He's from space.
It's got like 8 arms. Assuming there
I
are
hate
arms, or 6 arms.
He can hold 8 shakes, I suppose.
Do you think he's the one that keeps giving Grimace all those shakes?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I hope
about
he
Sunday
could
the
earn a
Dog?
lot of money.
I don't even know. Like, what's this one embodying in regards to?
I don't know. He looks uncomfortable
McDonald's.
metal body. I guess he's like a Sputnik.
I don't know if McDonald's has a Sputnik, but okay.
Well,
The
they do now.
McDonald's lore is just incredibly deep,
It is
isn't
very,
it?
it is
I
very
know.
deep. Octobos says, "Is it a shrimp?"
He's an alien, and he can. Looks like he can. Go inside his shell like a turtle can.
Okay. That's, okay. Oh wow.
Oh.
Why does that seem familiar? Why out of that one I recognize somehow? I feel like when I was a kid, there was like you'd go to McDonald's and you'd get a coloring in book or a calendar or some shit, and I'm pretty certain I remember this guy from that now.
Is it the 8 sphincters that's
That was
making you think?
it. Was the hand? It was the little hands coming through them. That yeah, Ronald.
Something's reminding me of. Oh, that's
Okay.
enough. I'm very sorry.
Do we feel that we've covered what we need to cover before we jump into session 0 next Monday?
This is a session -1.
This is a session minus.
Minus 1.
Yeah.
World -1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do like the idea that you brought up about advantage and stuff. I think it's hard to remember, but I think if you hand it out a lot, people spend it
Inspiration.
more instead of holding it. Yeah, inspiration.
Yeah,
sorry.
gotcha, yeah.
Instead of holding on to it like it's precious. Like I would hold mine on until I was in a dying state, because that happened quite often. But if I got advantage or inspiration more, I might just go yes. That's
So-
what the bardic inspiration, you have to use it within 10 minutes.
How much is too much? How much? Like, how often should I be giving this out?
Every time I do a move, you can
I
hand
think
it out.
if you're giving it out too often, like there was stages there where every one of us were in a battle, when we're in a battle, and every one of us had inspiration, and it kind of
Yes.
felt like too much. Like all of us could do something special, or we could have advantage on a roll.
Is that
when
a
it's
bad
like,
thing though?
well, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think if it happens too often, it becomes less rewarding.
Because obviously
I
we
think
were
you
letting,
do to reward
because we were
something
letting,
that just an attack.
yeah, we were letting viewers gift out inspiration as well.
Yeah, and I
that's
think
right.
that ended up giving us often more than what we would have got just by doing something kind of cool or something funky or something
Not
a little
making
bit
it-
different. It was about
Not making
Yeah, I
it
think
as
it's better if
special.
you do get it for doing something interesting rather than someone being nice to you.
To be honest,
because I
I
think
felt
if the viewers thought it was cool, then they were quite fair. Like if they
Yeah.
thought we did something really cool, they were fairly accurate about it, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they acted as a good sort of filter for if Regan missed something, they'd pick it up.
Reagan, by the way.
Sorry, I do it to you all the time. I'm
You
sorry.
do. It's interesting. I did find that the viewers were really good at giving them out at good times. Or they were really invested in what was happening and they wanted you guys to win. Or sometimes they wanted Billy to hurt you guys.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Because there was a few times when you got given inspiration with your characters,
Yeah.
which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome as well. Well, yeah, but I might put this one to the people that are in the chat as well. Is like, how often should the players have inspiration? Like, what is right, what is wrong? So it sounded like Dave, you found that they lost the sheen a little bit.
I thought the balance was right. Like if we had more, it would be less fun. Because I mean, I know when I sat on them for a couple of weeks and looked and I looked, oh shit, I've got it. And so if it was given to me more often, I'd probably always have inspiration, and I might use it once, and it doesn't quite have the same effect. Like having advantage on attack for me personally doesn't seem to be that important. Although it can be useful if you do have it, but it's not something I'd really fight for. Bardic inspiration obviously is awesome because you get that extra D6.
Yeah.
I reckon having inspiration on an attack is very important. It's the difference between hitting and missing.
Sometimes
It's a difference between life and death.
And for
I take the opposite view. I'm like, this is like a treasure to me. Whenever I get inspiration, I'm like, oh god, I'm so gonna use this when like I'm desperate.
But also, American, you can use it just to suddenly be able to get your elven accuracy as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Although
serves-
you could always say that's an exception to the rule of you, I guess.
I'd have to think about that one. I think what happened sometimes was people also just wanted to support us, and they would literally be giving inspiration because they wanted to support us, not because they wanted to help someone. It was kind of like, oh, who doesn't have inspiration? I want to give it to them.
Yeah, there was a couple of that.
Yeah. Octoboss says, maybe inspiration, instead of advantage, it should give each player a charge on a magical item, and the item does something like a roll on a wild surge table, but not that impactful. Wand of Wonder, everyone. We should bring the Wand of Wonder back.
Oh, that thing was so much fun, but never got used as often as it should have.
The Wand of Wonder,
you
man.
use it in like a tight spot, and then like it just grows grass. Grass grows in the
That
field,
was the beauty
on a
of
boat.
it. Is like the times we used it, it was either the completely useless completely useless, or it was the perfect thing for the situation.
Really? Did it come in handy?
Yeah, it came in handy so many times.
Oh.
There was a couple of times where it did. So I remember it
There was a
growing grass.
yeah.
I remember a rhino appearing in the tower of the giant just randomly, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
There was
those are the two bad ones, but I can't remember.
There was a
any
big
specific good ones.
big fart cloud, like a big gaseous
Oh,
stinky
yes,
cloud, which
That was brilliant.
the enemies wouldn't cross, so it enabled us to have that sort of distance and just range attack these melee fighters. Yeah, there was I think there was a fireball at one point as well that just like took out a bunch of people. It was cool.
Yeah, I think it worked. I think often we were annoyed that it wasn't used as often as it probably could have been.
Yeah.
But I agree with Octobos with his inspiration. It often doesn't pay off until sessions later.
Yeah.
So you get it and go yay, and then it's sort of, I can do this. Which, yeah.
That's why I'm sort of dubious about giving it out every single session or getting people to pay for them. Or if people are gifting, if the viewers are gifting, then I shouldn't give them as well. I don't know. But there's something special about the DM saying, that was awesome. Here's an inspiration point.
I think I agree with that, but it's also the whole funding thing. It's kind of nice to give our followers something to buy rather than just chucking money at us. So it gives them the benefit of saying, hey, I did this, or so whatever mechanics we want to throw at that.
Twitch is hard. I never ever want to just be like, give us cash. Ever.
Exactly.
I don't want to ever be like...
We're not doing this solely for the cash. We want, if they're going to pay for something, then we want them to actually see some benefit for it rather than just throwing cash at us.
Exactly. There's got to be a purpose to it. There's got to be something in it for them. Joe, you're being pretty quiet. What are your thoughts? What do you reckon?
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. All right, good. Okay.
For once in my life. Enjoyed the novelty of that.
Hasn't taken the polar opposite opinion of me, so it's all good.
Well, I think we've sort of discussed a lot. We've got a lot more to discuss next week with session 0, but that's going to be more based around, I think, game mechanics and group mechanics and stuff like that. We're going to have everybody here except for John, unfortunately.
And it's less going to be around McDonald's and the various monstrous beings that inhabit the universe of McDonald's.
Yeah. No more McDonald's distractions.
I was going to say...
fun fact, monstrous just means large, not like a monster.
Not scary.
Oh, really?
So obviously Adam will have his character sussed out by then?
Yes. I already know... the name of his character, I know the class of his character, I know what his character looks like, and I know who his character knows.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And we'll just sort of we'll delve into more of that next week. So there will be a little bit of an introduction session for his character, but without going too in depth on it, I don't think.
And he's not a tank.
I've just looked up the definition of monstrous. Incorrect.
You said it with conviction.
Yeah, I believed you.
I know. I was like, fun fact, I'm very smart. I'm not at all, actually.
The
It means
internet would have believed
big
you.
and also like a monster, so it means both things. But it can just mean big. There you have it.
Yeah.
So you can't have a small monstrous thing. It
has to be large.
something.
Oh, no, it doesn't have to be both, but I think it can be one or the other.
You could have a small monstrous thing, so something that was small that was monster-like. Or you could have someone like yourself, Shannon, who was monstrous, but not
duck-like.
actually monstrous. But not monster-like.
Oh, actually...
Wait, you're saying he's really big?
Yeah, what are you saying?
What?
He's
So
a
I'm
monster?
saying that you could be big as in monstrous, but not scary as in monstrous.
Yes.
Yes.
That.
One last thing is I'm working with someone on a new shirt design.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Are
I
you?
need another shirt to buy.
I thought I was going to help.
It's like, hey, wait, I'm the designer.
Yeah, but like we're gonna. I've already talked to you about this, haven't I?
I didn't know it was a thing. I thought you just thought it might.
Well,
Yeah.
we
What
can,
about me?
We can. That's the new T-shirt design.
This
There it
doesn't
is
need to
right
become
there.
a family argument.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it does.
Donate if you want to have some family
There's
argument.
just going to be a little meter on screen, and when it gets to the top, we'll have a family argument.
Actually, to be fair, as long as I'm not the center of it, I really don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There will be a couple of T-shirt designs. One, of course, done by Joe. Absolutely. I had,
Cool.
I don't know. We'll have a discussion about it because I did kind of take an idea Joe had and then twisted it into something else. and now we run the risk of both the designs being similar but very different. So, yeah.
Do them both.
Yeah. I was like,
So we've
this would
got
be a
new
cool
supplier.
idea. And he's like, yes, your idea, but done by someone else, and it will be way cooler. And I'm like,
No, it was a specific
critical damage.
You evil man. Wow.
There's a very specific style that I want that idea done in, and that I think would be incredibly cool.
And
That'll
of
match
course, the
that
content's
style.
all yours to make the rules up, and no one else can have those ideas, eh?
No, that's not.
Oh,
Is that what you're
family
like?
fight.
Oh, family fight. Who maxed out the meter already? Damn. Thanks for the donation.
David hits critical with a passive-aggressive roll.
Oh, man. Dave. Burns.
With cutting words.
So harsh.
Oh, God,
Barbarian.
I could be mean as a bard.
I reckon no matter what, our shirt designs this time are going to be incredibly cool though. So we got some cool stuff.
The last two were pretty cool.
The last two
gonna
were
have goblins?
amazing.
They were awesome. I still get. I walk down the street and I still get comments on both those shirts.
Yeah, they're
that's
So
incredibly.
many people ask me
Do you?
where they come from, what are you doing, and I tell them, and they can look at me and they go, "Oh yeah, that's cool," and they wander off.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm some weird dude. But
Really?
I've
That's cool.
I've had people from work basically ask where they can get the shirt from
yeah,
Whoa.
because they just
We
like
should
the,
sell
they
them
like the
outside
design
of
so
our
much.
very niche store then.
I mean, like you can link that. You don't, it's just a website. It's designed by humans. Anyone. It's just a popular T-shirt.
I just tell
Sure.
people to Google getting Dicey, and you'll find links to shit.
Yeah. It's just on Designed by Humans, so it's underneath our stream as well. But it's not tied to Twitch or anything like that. It is just something. It's just on a T-shirt store where you can buy them, and they look cool. They look incredibly cool. All done by Joe over there. Really, really cool designs.
We should
So
get one
that-
done by Shannon, if anything.
That is what I'm talking about. We need a Shannon design.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Whoa.
Whoa.
Who's holding a ruler and amazing stuff that's invisible.
That's invisible.
Let's give this guy some raps here.
Yeah.
The new.
the monkey,
Why did we go to a new supplier? Out of curiosity.
So we were tying the T-shirt sales to Streamlabs at one point.
Right.
And what I didn't know is that their store was in beta. And when they went out of beta, they said, now you have to pay to sell your shirts through here. And it's like, they get the cut for the shirt sales anyway. So I don't think so. That's not how this is going to roll. So we did Designed by Humans, which I think we get a bigger cut on the shirts anyway. And it's free to have them on there. So it's a win-win.
Oh, nice.
It's a win-win.
Are they a bigger organisation? Or, well,
I don't know, I guess so, yeah. The only downside, and this just means good things for people who got in early, is it doesn't have the cool dice design on the sleeve at the Designed by Human store. So if you got in early and you got one of the shirts with the dice design, then you have limited edition shirts, my friends.
You could get it printed on Redbubble. And have you seen all the shit that they print on? It'll go on cups. It'll go on beach towels. It'll go on your sheets.
Designed by Humans does all that as well.
Right, yeah.
We can totally unlock that as well.
You can get full pillowcase set.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Surprise your loved one by a giant
Oh my
goblin.
god, getting Dicey sheets and bedding would be so amazing.
Yeah, getting Dicey undies, Random Origin says. I
Yeah.
reckon
Oh,
we could
even
have
better.
Billy Goblin's face right on the crotch.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
On the inside.
I'm not sure if I'd have Billy Goblins with your teeth.
It does have my mouth, that's right.
Yeah, with your mouth. That's pushing it just a little bit.
yeah.
The placement could be a little bit odd.
Yeah, that's fair.
But as a pillow, I think like the
You
party
could
would be
cut
quite
your
cool.
own hole with a mouth.
Ew.
Billy's got something in his mouth.
On the pillowcase.
Oh, on the pillowcase.
Oh,
Yeah, that's weird. Logix has just popped in and said, "What a lovely channel to stumble on when he can't sleep." He's also found us on Spotify. So yeah, definitely listen to. Don't worry about episode 0. It's just us talking about who the characters are. You can just jump into episode 1 if you want to sort of. I think that is a really good indication of what the rest of the campaign was like. It just gets really into it straight away.
Episode 1 is good.
Yeah, plus it's been
Episode 0
edited.
was just
It's been edited really tightly as well. That for the first 2 episodes.
On the podcast, you mean? Or
Yeah, on the podcast.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cuts out all the
Shannon's
bullshit.
cutting out really badly
Yeah.
for me now.
Shannon, during your last 2 speeches, Shannon, you've cut out like 3 or 4 times.
Oh,
Didn't
how
cut-
about for you, Regan?
No,
You know you got me saying Regan.
Regan.
No,
You
no.
got me started. It's Regan.
No, you didn't cut out for me, which means the viewers. You haven't cut out for the viewers either. So
Wow,
I-
So
that's
it's
so
me
good,
and
though.
David.
It's just the Mac OS users.
Oh, don't give me a new laptop.
Yeah, you do. You guys
Do you reckon-
do both have exactly
reckon
the
that-
same laptop.
Do you reckon the stream could spot us a couple of new laptops in?
I
Yeah, how
think
many Billy
that-
Goblins is like a new Microsoft Surface for me and David?
Don't think we could maybe talk to Microsoft, but I don't think that's going to.
We'll just start right. We'll just be like, okay, Universal Studios,
Yeah,
McDonald's, and Microsoft present Getting Dicey.
Yeah, season 2.
Getting Dicey will be that small and all our sponsors across the top. Just
All our fake ass sponsors.
As long as you're using the logos, though, right? You know, the proper logos, they have to pay attention.
Yeah, they have to pay us.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Or is that the
Fun
other way around?
fact. If you put someone's logo on your work, they have to pay you.
Pretty sure that's how it works, right?
You know, you should make a T-shirt with all the logos on it.
That's legal. That'll be great.
Getting Dicey sponsored by, and then all our
Yeah,
logos
presents.
over all the logos over us.
A Microsoft production. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put Bill Gates.
I wonder if it would
With
create
your
enough
mouth.
stir to be noticed by anybody.
I don't think so.
That's how you get noticed in this world. Create a scandal.
Actually, you're not wrong. And maybe if we did that, maybe that would get us noticed. We can say Critical Role presents. New Zealand.
Oh my god.
Critical Role presents Critical Role 2 Getting Dicey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The new
better
season
version.
The $5
with better
version.
actors.
Yeah. Keslo, we're using Whereby. We haven't tried Zoom. Zoom does this weird thing where it kind of highlights the name. It might actually be all right. I don't know. But I've tried Zoom before for work, and it sucked. So
It might be that.
I don't
It
know.
might be worth trying, but is it? Can you get a free one? Or
You
what was that
can.
other one that I
You can get a
tried?
free one, but it's like 30 minutes, and that's it. I think.
Like all of that statement gone. Didn't
Oh,
hear
you
a
didn't
word.
hear it.
You didn't hear any of that, even
It
from
was
me.
like, blah, blah,
I
blah,
heard
blah.
it could be
Yeah, and
Like
then
from me as well, or
Oh, they heard you.
just Shannon, I think.
oh, that's
Shannon,
so
yeah.
weird.
But
Damn
what was
it.
the other one I
I've
sent you? a link
infected
for?
Dave with my deafness.
It's clearly a Mac OS issue. Clearly,
I
what
just
what
think it's a Shannon issue.
what browser? I hear him fine. What browser are you guys using?
I'm using Whereby through
Safari?
Ooh, is it Firefox at the moment?
Me
You're
too.
both using Firefox.
Both
Why?
using Firefox.
Because I like
Why don't you use
Firefox.
Safari?
I think
No.
I originally was using it on Chrome and it had a bunch of issues, so I
No, the
switched to
switch happened because you guys couldn't get the SnapCam filters working through Chrome.
That's
anymore.
right.
Oh, that's
Something
what it
happened,
was.
And you
SnapCam
both
didn't
moved
like
to
Chrome.
Firefox.
Yeah, and I've always used Firefox just because I do.
Okay. Well, I would say first of all you should try Safari, and then if that doesn't work, then try Opera
Yeah, you guys need to not use Firefox
or
next
Brave.
But I like Firefox. It's got all my
Not-
favorites and stuff.
week. Not for this. Not for this. You would have to use something else for getting
I'm
dicey
going
You
to
time.
see
can
if,
import
if
favorites
I have
anyway.
Safari.
That reminds me, I've
Or
got
if I
to
have to
upgrade or do the update for SnapCam.
Right. Yeah.
I've got to remember my Apple password.
The Keslo says
I'm going
the
to quickly
Safari
sign out
exhale.
and then go back to
Safari.
Safari.
Okay.
Yeah, give that a try. Give that a try. Dave,
What
do
is
you
your
have Safari?
password, Dave?
I have no idea. That's the problem. I can't remember it.
Just need your credit card details as well, Dave, if you can. just for D&D Beyond.
Just
I
for
just
checking
need some,
purposes, yeah.
Yeah. Just to
I would, but I actually don't have one to give you. So
Oh, fair
Sorry.
enough. That's fair. That's all right. I feel bad about the shirt now. But it's a really cool design. Shit. We'll see what happens. I hope, yeah, crap.
do both. I'm sure Joe will be just as pleased with either of them. But yeah,
Because she she only had some of the idea, and then I ran with it,
Made
and
it
then
better. Yeah.
just changed it.
That's what it sounds like.
And
Like
then-
she had this little idea, and I
Oh,
just
Dave,
took it and made
It's
it
some of
better.
If
like
I spoiled the surprise right now, I think you'd be very excited. That's all I can say.
Don't I already know
Oh,
what
no,
it
you
is?
can't. You can't.
Oh,
do
that's
that.
it.
You
No, I
know
did
it.
already
Why?
talk about it. I did already talk about it in the Discord, didn't I?
Yeah, you told
can't
us.
remember.
But
There's
I'm
been
not
so
going
much-
to say.
There's so many conversations in Discord that I missed some of them. Like,
Yeah. And I was like,
because
do we
I
do
did
both
fast.
or do we just do one? And I don't think anyone really.
I'm pretty sure I said do both.
Should I just say what it was? And we'll get
Yeah, just
the
say
we'll get the chat
Oh.
we'll get the chat's thoughts on it as well.
You don't want
Just
a bit
do
of a ta-da.
I do though. But
Joe's not here.
then if
You're not hiding it from Joe.
no, I know I'm not hiding it from Joe, and that's part of the problem by the sounds
Yeah.
of things.
Or I guess
Like
you
when
have.
Joe comes in, I can just tell her that you revealed it. And
No, it's all right. We'll keep it a secret. I think because there's a couple of ideas that I want, and they both include every. I mean, it involves everybody anyway in regards to the characters.
But
So
hold on, you've got a new character.
we do.
oh, I remember what you're talking about.
We
That's
do
right.
have a new character,
Are
and
they
that,
going to be in the shirt?
they will be in the shirt.
Okay, good.
And will Sig not be?
Sig will not be in the shirt.
What
That's
about the
sad.
minions?
The minions are. I mean, that was the surprise. This is part of the Universal Studios sponsorship tour.
If you got like, you can just get those minion shirts from the $2 shop, right?
Sure, yeah.
Get those. And right, getting Dicey on it. It's cheap.
I don't know how well I can sell those, to be honest. Buy them, yes.
you
Print
can
onto
buy
them,
them.
definitely. But I don't know how I'd be able to then mass market them. Yeah.
Might be surprised.
But if you're going to rip off the minions, you might as well rip off like $2 store, like Schminions or whatever they're called. Yeah. I think Joe's move to Safari has not gone well.
You
No,
might
so
not
I
know
won't
her
be trying that.
password.
Does she need a password for Safari?
Maybe she needs to give them the
For
credit
whereby?
card
Do you
details
need
or
one?
something.
Oh, no, you don't need one for Whereby. You just need the address.
Okay.
But I don't know why that's taking so long. We'll figure that out. Man, I am really excited to talk about the new shirt because the new shirt's going to be cool. But I'm going to stop. There she is.
There she is.
Hey.
Hello.
How's that? So you're in Safari now?
No.
Oh.
Are you not?
Okay.
This is crazy. You won't believe this. Safari told me to download Opera. So I'm coming to you from Opera because
told you to
Safari
download it?
didn't want Whereby.
It suggested option.
What?
Yeah.
So even
Opera really
Safari.
took itself.
So even Safari doesn't like Safari.
Safari
No, it doesn't
is
like
like,
whereby, even Safari. It's got some
I
taste.
think it must be because I've got an old version of Safari. It's like saying, oh, it's older than version 13. So try one of these browsers.
Okay.
Okay.
It's older
I think
than
it's
version
based on
13.
Chromium,
So
right?
does it not work if it's too new?
Furry Blue Elf said, while you're at it, get Netscape Navigator, which I
Now, that's the thing. Opera's new. It's a new Opera, and it's got its own VPN for free.
really?
Yeah.
That would have come in handy for the Super Bowl.
Let's see if it works with SnapCam. You'll be able to tell if I look slightly less
Uh-oh.
tired.
I thought you were going to turn yourself into Mannequin again.
Sure.
Random Origins is out here promoting Brave again as
Yeah, get Brave.
Get
I'm gonna try
Brave.
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 Get Brave, everyone.
That's by Chromium. It's got Chromium browser as well.
Can I just say, I've moved on to Edge.
You're Edgelord.
I'm an Edgelord now.
It
It
is
works.
horrible.
Oh man,
I'm getting a yellow flashing. Though.
Yeah.
This is new.
it's doing some
It's
yellow
like-
flashing.
Doing.
This is what happens when I use
Oh,
this
no.
filter
Turn
apparently
that filter off. It's horrible.
in
Oh, you're
Opera.
turning into a minion.
Do I
You're gonna yellow.
Let's try something less aggressive.
do I need to put up seizure warnings for our viewers?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that's.
Well, okay, so Opera can't handle that, but it can handle normal filters, huh?
I guess it was filling in like the lost frames with just a yellow flash instead of like holding the frame for a while.
I think Mannequin is
I
a
was like,
tricky one
oh.
though because it's actually analyzing your face.
Yeah. Yuck.
Oh, that's-
Don't.
Oh.
And it's even worse when you smile. It's so bad. It's so
Wow.
I've never felt more self-conscious about my gums.
Why would you do that to your face? Like, honestly,
It's so
so
disgusting.
bad. It is
I'm like, is this
horrific.
what I really look like? Is
That
this what
is,
Reagan sees?
yeah.
We
This
got
is filter
body
off.
dysmorphia.
It is now. It's literally what Reagan's going to see for the rest
You
of
should
the
see
night.
our
Good shoulders.
wedding photos. Ooh.
How about this though?
You look like someone from
Wow.
One Piece.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Unfortunately, my
It's like
waist
a-
isn't like an inch wide. That would be all right.
It's like a cankle for your neck.
Cankle for your neck. That's the best. So are we? Yeah. Are we? Have we covered everything? What do we think? What do we think?
I think we're done.
We're done?
Oh, Shannon has to talk some and see if
Oh.
he's still cutting out on
Yeah,
opera.
mine's still cutting out.
Tell us.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us another
Tell
folk
us-
story from some random.
What we would have to know is like if it cuts out for Dave but not for Joe.
That's where
Because
we're
then we
at
would
now.
think, oh, it's
So
the
we need to hear
safari, and then-
another Scandinavian folk story.
Tell us another Scandinavian.
And I have a
folk
request.
Okay.
If you want to test this properly, I'm going to need to see your face because otherwise I won't know if you're just not speaking.
Oh, very true.
Yeah.
Because that's the dead
There
giveaway when
he
I
is.
see your lips moving and there's no voice coming out.
My mouth. So now I go back to where I need it.
Yeah, we're gonna
There
need
you are.
Okay.
give us another. What we forgot to set. Like we what was it the other week when we were talking about what were we talking about? We're talking
Necro
about
pants.
Nordic
Necropants.
folklore or
The
something.
skin pants.
And
yeah.
then we shut down the stream, and then we ended up talking about this folk tale, which was amazing. But have you got another one for us, Shannon?
Well,
It was last week was the Tilbury.
The
that's
Tilburys.
right, the Tilbury.
Yeah,
Well, there's the Narbrook, which is the
that is the
other Necropants.
that is the Necropants. Yeah.
And then I went to magical signs, the different Icelandic magical staves.
There we go.
stuff.
It's already getting exciting.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want? A fertility rune or something?
I feel like a
sexy?
fertility rune would lead to something pretty horrific.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so actually, I'll just tell you some of the runes, okay?
Okay.
So we got that Al Uni. To get a girl, this magical stave is used by a man in love to gain the affections of the objects of his desire.
I think Dave lost you for a bit there. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah.
Joe, did
I
you?
didn't,
Oh,
touchdown! Is that?
but I am
Sports
going to do
change
this.
to
I'm going to
opera
do this if I
Wait.
can't hear you. Good
Oh.
point, Dave.
Oh, that's like going 90s meme or early 2000s meme. That's fantastic.
I'm
What?
going to change to opera then, yeah.
That guy, that weedy little kid, it's fantastic.
What else have we got? Okay, we got a drep rune to kill an enemy's cattle. That's quite a complicated rune or sigil that looks a bit like a football pitch that goes crazy on the right hand side into. We got ones to prosper in trade, ones to open hills. These are good magic spells. These are real magical spells. One that looks straight up like ET. Like the
Excuse me?
letters ET, not the.
Oh. All right.
I was like, wow.
There's one
What a
to win in
coincidence.
court.
Okay.
Is what?
Okay. One to win in court.
Oh, wow.
You go. So who needs a lawyer? Okay. There's the Tilbury. I'm going to go into the Tilbury.
The Tilbury was fantastic.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to. Okay. All about a butter churn, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's all
Now-
about like.
Here's a troll cat. Okay, so
Oh.
a troll cat, also milk rabbit or troll ball,
Okay.
is the familiar of a witch in Scandinavian folklore,
Okay.
either in the shape of a cat or a ball.
Okay, so those are quite distinct shapes. It's
A bull.
Either a
Like
cat.
just
Yeah.
a bull.
A ball,
ball.
like a single ball.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh.
tell me, Dave, if I drop out, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, troll cats sucked milk from cows and spat it out in the witch's milk pails.
That's just like the
and went
Tilburys.
into homes to lick up cream. Related creatures are milk hares, and milk rabbits.
Milk here. But what I thought that was what the Tilbury did as well.
Well, it's all milk related, of course.
The-
That's the
Yeah. The Tilbury was
witches-
one, yes, attaching it to
witches
the back.
reportedly were able to create them from human hair, nails, wood shavings, and the like. Just shit you found got
Just
in your
random,
floor.
like pocket
I
lint.
Stuff
suppose.
that, yeah. No, I get that.
And then we said to
Like
suck
this
milk.
wood shaving could almost be a cat or a ball.
Yeah, it's either a
one of the
ball
two.
or it's going to steal milk. So we said to
How does
suck
the ball
from
steal milk
cows.
though?
Just rolls up.
I don't know.
Rolls up.
And steal cream from households. Troll cats would then. It's sort of reiterating what it said. Oh, the Norwegian names Trollnost and Trollnoa indicate their shapes. Those troll cats look like balls of yarn.
Random
cute.
Origins just saying good night. Thanks for stopping by while we just talked some garbage. Random Origins, so have a good night. We'll see you next week
Just the tip.
for session 0. Dave, did Shannon drop out at any point through that spiel for you?
Yeah,
Yep.
lots of times.
You need to get
Oh,
it out.
lots
That's
of
good
times.
news.
So
but
you
not
need
for
to.
Joe.
Also,
I'm
Joe,
I'm going to download. I've just downloaded Opera, so I'll give that a crack next week.
Also, Joe, your video is coming through way clearer now as well.
Oh,
Way clearer.
Yeah, Firefox is like nasty, man.
So let's move away from
Opera is the way forward, maybe.
let's move away from
Brave.
Firefox for next week there, Dave. I know you can use it for the rest of your life on other things. I don't care, but
Well, maybe you need to update Firefox.
just get rid of it. Well, just no Firefox next week. It was grab
Yeah.
Safari or Opera. Opera by the looks of things.
I'll do Opera for the for whereby.
It's back.
That's fine.
All right, cool. I reckon we can call it there. Are we
Yep,
good?
yep.
I think that was a really good conversation about a lot of cool things. But session 0 next week is where it's really gonna like be interesting. So again, we just reiterate. We'll try and take it from a really positive standpoint of confirming the things that we want to continue doing. Yeah, I think that's cool. So if you've been watching and really enjoy what we've been doing tonight, we'll actually be talking proper D&D next week. So check out our videos from our last campaign in our YouTube link below. You can find us on pretty much anywhere you find podcasts. And we've even got a Discord channel that you can come and talk to that thing, whatever that is. Whatever that is.
Try
over
not
there.
to laugh, I can tell.
Yeah, oh, it's gross. Yeah, and the Discord link is down below as well. So come say hi, and we'll see you all at the same time next time. Thank you guys for watching.
Same time next time.
Same time next. That's my new catchphrase for the end. Same time next time. Bye all.
All right, goodbye.